Hello, and welcome to the heart of independent cinema. We're here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at the red carpet, brought to you by social media shows. Tonight, we're bringing you groundbreaking stories, everything from dramas to thrillers to documentaries. Everything that we're bringing you is going to be the ACE experience. That's right, atmosphere, credit, and exposure. From groundbreaking interviews to entrances, we're giving you every single special moment here tonight. Hello, hello. No, welcome.
I
Hello.
thought you were being interviewed. We were staying away so we didn't get into your
No,
conversation.
no, this is all about you. Hello.
Nice to
Tom,
see you.
nice to meet you. I'm Angela.
Hi, this is TJ.
TJ, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. So, what brings you here tonight?
Yeah, we're here for the Indie Vegas Film Festival. Well, we have two films in it, Finding Faith, which is a feature, and Bear Brook.
Oh, that's so exciting. And what I was like, what do you do?
So I am the screenwriter and producer and editor of both films. And then TJ is
I'm the director and cinematographer of Finding Faith, and I wrote the theme song for Bear Brook.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, you guys. So let me ask you, I was like, what for Finding Faith, what inspired you for that story?
Yeah, so it's about a very religious woman who has a crisis of faith during COVID time. And this was actually my thesis when I got my degree in screenwriting just a few years ago. And so that was the story. And I just thought it was something that, just a story that needs to be told.
Oh, definitely. I was like, we all went through the pandemic, so we all know what that feels like, but it was different for everybody. So it must be fascinating to go through that story with her.
It is. And one of the things is it kind of brings back memories about having to wear masks and get get your vaccination, whether you should do that or not, and having to get tested before you go to a restaurant and stuff like that. So it does bring back a lot of memories for people.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm sure. And for you, the cinematographer, I was like, what inspired you to become a cinematographer?
It was more of a default.
Okay.
Okay, so Tom calls me up and he says, "Hey, I have this film that I wrote, and I'd really like you to be involved. Would you like to be the lead actress, or would you like to direct it?" And I said, "Ooh, direct it." And so I said yes to the direction, and he said, "Oh, and by the way, you're also the cinematographer."
That's amazing. Oh my God, multiple hats. I love that so much. My question for you is this. So what made you, instead of being the lead actress, what made you want to do the directing and the cinematographer for this film?
Oh, I've been acting for a very long time. I won't tell you now how long I've been doing that.
I was like, okay, couple secrets.
But I really enjoy using my creative eye as much as I enjoy like using my other talents. And so it gave me an opportunity to use my photography skills to learn about a new piece of equipment. I got to use a black magic camera for the film, and so I got to learn how to do that. And working with actors, I've always found that rewarding. I've done it in theater, and so I'm like, film, why not?
No, I love that so much. I love that you're multifaceted, and that's incredible that you also love working with other talent instead of just being the talent. That is truly amazing. So, a question for you here, since we are at the heart of the Indie Film Festival, what is it about indie film that draws you to it?
Oh my gosh. So you don't have billions of dollars of budget. So what you need is you need creativity and you need amazing acting and you need an incredible story because you can't tell the story with special effects to keep people interested. You have to tell the story with a good script. And we have seen so many good stories in this festival. It's only been a couple days and I'm looking at the program thinking, "Oh my gosh, so many more good stories. I can't wait to see."
I love that so much. What about for you?
Well, I like the community of it all. I'm very big into collaboration and working with others and watching people grow because this process doesn't matter where you are in it, but you can watch people like learn new things and like, oh, okay, let me try that, and it's just that's all exciting to me.
I love that so much. I love that you're big on community and bringing stories to life. And you're absolutely right. Not having all those special effects and the big budget, it forces you to dive into that creativity a little bit more.
And then people, we spent probably a year in post production
Yeah.
and just huge amounts of time. And we know that everybody else went through that same journey. And I just love to learn from people. And if somebody's crazy enough to make a movie, I want to talk to them.
I love that so much. So we're all big movie buffs, obviously. So what I want to know is just to wrap up, what's your favorite snack? If you're going to go see a movie, are you more of a popcorn, candy, or are you bringing in your own?
Oh, Butterfinger bites all the way. Yes.
No, gummy bears.
Oh, I'm with her. I'm the gummy bears all the way. Thank you guys so much. It's been an honor to listen to you and get a chance to get into your mind a little bit on what draws you to independent film. I thank you so much. I was like brought to you live by social media shows, and whether you're backstage or here, buckle up because this is gonna be one long night of interviews and unforgettable moments with beautiful creative talent. It's like, come on in. Hello, hello.
Hi.
I'm Angela.
Christina, nice to meet you,
Marcusita, nice to
Angela.
meet you.
Yeah.
And what brings you to the Indie Film Festival in Vegas this year?
I am the director and editor of a film comedy called King Me,
King Me. What's that about?
Checkers.
Okay, so we got like a kind of like a gambit thing going on here.
It's two neighbors, one game of checkers, several thoughts of homicide. It's about the friends that you hate, that you love to hate, and that you hate to love. Like,
So frenemies?
yeah. But you know how, like, do you have a friend that you find yourself? We all have a friend. I know the answer to this question. Where we all go, Why am I friends with this person?" And you're
Oh,
like,
I have several.
yeah, exactly. And so I wanted to explore that issue about what is it because we're getting something out of it.
Right. No, there's definitely a dynamic and a depth to that. And I feel like I have never seen anybody dive into that before. What made you want to dive into that?
Well, this was actually a script that was brought to me by the pair of actors who had written it, and they uh, yeah, it was just a funny idea that they had, and they created these characters who are playing checkers, but who really, again, are sort of frenemies. And I just said to them, I think there's a lot more there, and to go into like the fantasies of wanting to kill one another and wanting uh, all the ways in which they see each other and that aren't accurate. Uh, And I just, yeah, I think it's a fascinating subject and one that hasn't really been dealt with that much. So I thought, here we go.
No, I completely agree. I find that very fascinating. So, a question for you: how long have you been in the industry, and what's a little bit of your background?
I got my start as a journalist and a novelist. I wrote a well-regarded book called How I Paid for College, a novel of sex, theft, friendship, musical theater. And my background is theater, musical theater. So I then parlayed that into writing and directing musicals. I wrote a show that played on Broadway 10 years ago called Allegiance, which was about the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. Uh, but honestly, what got me into indie film was the sheer amount of money that it costs to be able to do a Broadway show. And, 7 out of 10 Broadway musicals fail. So I've I've lost other people millions of other people's money. I shouldn't say this on camera, but they know it. They put the money in.
It's
And
like anyone who's in this industry is going to understand.
yeah. So uh, I had done a music video for one of the shows that I had directed, and I that kind of introduced me to the indie film world. And now with uh, digital technology, it's the cost of entry is much less expensive, and it's still a very competitive and difficult and all that, but it's nothing compared to trying to put on live theater. So my first film was a musical, which was on a musical called Mad Woman, which featured and starred the songs of Storm Large, the indie singer songwriter. Yeah. So and then this was came to me through the producers, and we're now working on a third one that would be more of a proof of concept for doing feature film, low budget film musicals, which is not a genre that
I
exists.
was going to say, I was like, I feel like you're almost creating your own new genre.
One hopes that's the goal because there's just so much. I know there are so much interesting um, dynamic material that's either it's offbeat or it's esoteric or it's just too weird or it doesn't belong in the cattle chute of the Broadway commercial market. And I just feel like there's a place for that kind of material to exist in independent film. So I've been embracing the independent film world and this movie was here, which has been fantastic. My family lives in Vegas as well. Uh,
So you're pretty much local.
no, well, no, I live in New York City actually, but my family, my dad moved out here, and then my nephew, and then excuse me, then my brother, and then my nephew, and so it's I do feel a certain a very close connection uh, to they're in Henderson, but to Vegas, uh, and this was a great opportunity to be able to combine family and business.
No, I love that in its entirety. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, what is it? How is it you're here in Vegas?
Vegas, so I'm actually a model and actress myself,
Hmm.
and I also love the community of the arts, the creativity. I love speaking to people like you, understanding why you do what you do, what inspires you.
Uh-huh.
That's actually my next question for you. So what inspires you to do what you do when it comes to independent film?
the what inspires me to do independent film is the fact that I am closer to death than birth.
Interesting. I'm actually very curious on this. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
I'm going to be 60 next year. So I I have stories that I want to tell. I've so many projects that are sort of underproduced or half produced, and I want to be able to get them out into the world and done, and also to be a way shower for people like myself. There's a whole community of really interesting musical artists whose work doesn't reach as wide an audience as it should. So I realized that if I could create an actual model based on low budget horror, like you think about a Blumhouse horror film, if I could create a a model that was actually financially sustainable, then other artists who want to be able to do challenging work would have a means to be able to do it. Essentially, like streaming becomes the new off Broadway.
Oh, I love
So
that.
that's what, it's a legacy project for me in a way. It's being able, to be able to get what I want to say in the world done. And every artist wants to secretly sort of change the world.
Everybody wants to be remembered. We all want to leave our mark on history. And I feel like you are doing that, bringing, I mean, just the way that you talk about your art, the way that you speak to it, the community feel, the way it inspires you. It, it's really groundbreaking. I find it very, very impressive. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for sharing. I truly appreciate that so much. I always have to ask a little fun question, but since we're all movie buffs and we are at a film festival, if you had to pick, what is your favorite go-to snack? Are you more popcorn, candy? Do you like to bring in your own little homemade snacks? What do you like?
No question, popcorn. Absolutely.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. I can't. That. It's salty, crunchy.
I love that so much. Are you an extra butter person?
No, I'm not actually.
Ooh, it's greasy. Yeah, your hand.
I'm not digging that. And I'm gotta tell you, this where are we? This Galaxy Theater here in Cannery, they've got the cushy seats with the recliners. And this is
Yes.
a nice theater. I've been on the film festival circuit for the last couple of years, and this is easily probably the nicest theater anything I've ever seen of my work. So to be able to see it on a big screen with beautiful sound, the picture, this is a fantastic festival. People should be coming down here to the Cannery to see really uh, bizarre and challenging, offbeat, wonderful work.
I completely agree with you. I love that so much. And yeah, I was like, there's nothing like having to be able to do that from pretty much the comfort of your own home, but not being at home,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. It
No,
was a
it's been such
pleasure.
a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I was like I said, we're here live at social media shows. And do you have any Instagram handles or anything that you would like to
Yeah,
add
you
so
can
people
I
can find you?
you can find me on Instagram. I'm not active on socials. I'm finishing a major book right now. So
Congratulations. That's exciting.
so next year we will actually get onto the socials, but you can find me on Instagram if you want to just slip into the old DMs and say hi, which is my last name Aceto Mark, or at Aceto Mark, but and that it's my website is markaceto.nyc.
Perfect. You heard it here, everybody. Thank
Oh,
you
are we
so
switching channels?
much.
There we go. Oh,
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
I'm Commander Todd Siski. Just about 2 years ago, I began making films. It was just sort of a one-off project for me. It's a TV series. It's a TV show called Cheeched and Handy. If you imagine like Martha Stewart, and MacGyver mating with a gummy groove, it's sort of like a DIY show, right? With flair. So I make boutique guitar amplifiers out of stuff that I find at the thrift stores, at the garbage, and the curb, or wherever. Check out the website, cheechedandhandy.com. And there you can link to the episode 1 and stream all 7 episodes to check out. And that's about it, and keep watching and support indie film.
And we're back to the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at the Galaxy Theater at the Cannery Casino. And we're bringing you live interviews, exclusive moments with directors, filmmakers, cinematographers, actors, the whole nine. So stay tuned. Whether you're here or at home, buckle up because we're bringing you the experience. Come on in. Hello, hello. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm Angela. What's your name?
Juan.
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you as well.
So what I was like, what brings you here? I was like, what do you do?
Oh, I'm a filmmaker. I'm the writer and director of The Last Shift. It just finished screening just like a few minutes ago. Very excited to be here. It was such an honor. It's like so surreal to see your film on the big screen. It's like such a great experience.
Is it your first time?
First time here at in the Vegas Film Festival, and it's honestly like it's amazing so far.
So I have to ask, since you just finished watching your screening, how did it really feel? Like what emotions are going through you right now seeing your film up on the big screen?
That's a little hard. So like a lot of emotions right now. It's really hard to unpack everything. It's so surreal right now. It's like it's such a great experience. It's so hard to put in the words right now. But it's like if I had one word, awesome. Just straight up awesome.
That's so exciting. I am so thrilled to hear that. Yeah, you can see it. You look just, it's amazing. How long have you been doing this for?
About 6 years now. I started in college. I met my buddy Joey. He's actually he was the director and photography of all my films, but he's watching some other films right now. He might come back like in a minute or so just to give his own Q&A. But yeah, we started out together back in like 2020. Started making a couple of films. No, in 2019. We started. It's an exciting journey. Not all it doesn't it's not all sunshine and rainbow when you first start out, but that's that it's all about the journey. And honestly, it's the best decision I've made because before I wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff, and filmmaking is, to me, it's my calling.
I love that so much. So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to start making films and start actually doing this?
Oh, well, since I was a kid, I just loved movies. It was like the best memories that I can think of is always when my dad just like, hey guys, let's go down to the living room, watch some movies. And I just, off the top of my head, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Star Wars and pizza, the best experience you can possibly get.
I love that so much because I too myself, for me, film has a big meaning for me. It was always nostalgic, just like you said, bringing families together, bringing friends together, enjoying that moment. That's amazing. So you finally achieved your first project. You've seen it on the big screen. Do you have something coming up? Do you have a new project that you're going to be working on?
I have actually quite a few projects. With The Last Shift, it's actually it's a sort of a test run, I guess you could say, for a feature that's about 3 kids. So right now we've only seen the short, which is about Scott. The features is called Three Piece Man. It's about three kids growing up in high school, going through all of the different things, and then, it's trying to tackle the questions like, what does it mean to grow up? What kind of things you have to face as you go into adulthood. And I'm very excited. I'm looking right now. I'm looking for investors. But I'm very excited for the project. So anyone out there, just hit me up. I'm on Instagram, The Wrong Neighborhood Productions. But that's my biggest project right now, apart from a couple other documentaries that I'm also looking forward to. But definitely the features, like the biggest thing on my mind right now.
That's so exciting. Oh, a feature will be huge. Wow, congratulations. So my question for you is this. So I know film has a lot of different aspects. You got directing, you got filmmaking, you've got acting, you've got, cinematography, photography. What drew you to just being the filmmaker? Is there a specific reason why you just wanted to create the film itself instead of doing other avenues?
I just love film. It's just one of those things I get to express myself, what I'm thinking, and it's just awesome making your own world and just getting to know different people and watching everything come together is just like the most rewarding experience ever.
No, it is. And I was like, and I hear you. It's definitely a lot of work, but as you can see, I was like, would you say it's worth it?
Definitely, I don't regret a single day, even the best.
Love it. I love it so much. So as we wrap up here, I always like to ask because we're in the movie theater and everybody always has to get their snacks. What is your go-to snack? Are you more popcorn, candy? Do you make your own and bring it in or
I gotta go with the classic popcorn. It's just that's to me when you smell popcorn, you're at the movies.
I'm right there with you. It's like popcorn, you immediately think of film and it brings you home. So I understand that. Thank you so much for your time, Juan. You're such a pleasure. Congratulations on everything that you're accomplishing and you're going to accomplish.
Thank you.
And then give them your social media one more time so they know where to find you.
Of course, Wrong Neighborhood Productions on Instagram and YouTube.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And you heard it here from Social Media Stros at the Indie Vegas Film Festival.
Ms. Bonilla, executive producer, De La Cruz.
So I'm the writer, director, editor, producer of De La Cruz.
And the lead actress, Sofia Diaz, who's very popular in Mexico. So
Yes.
she's been in The Manny. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
just called The Manny.
Age of Violence
Yeah,
is
Age of
another one
Violence.
she's been in. She's
That's true.
awesome.
On altercation with Yolanda de la Cruz. She showed up at the prison today.
Y quisiera denunciar un intento de violación. This isn't right. He cannot get away with this. He just can't. I want to kill him.
I think it's time I finally introduce you to my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
We shot with 2 cameras on red cameras. We had a full crew. Every department was fully stocked. We had two camera teams running at the same time. In some scenes, we had 3 cameras as well. But yeah, it's for the scale of it, for what it looks like.
It's amazing.
It's a miracle that we pulled it off for the budget that we did.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything is amazing.
Yeah. Whole training, hardcore training montages. Gira. Eso. There's so many moments. I think just like the big fight, because we're building towards the end. The whole movie is really centered on her getting revenge. And then before she seeks revenge, her trainer gives her one little test, and he puts her in the ring, and she's completely taken by surprise. She had no idea she was going to go into a fight. To shoot like a big full-out fight scene with extras and cheering, and the girl's arm gets broken, and it's pretty amazing.
Yoli.
Like a wolf.
It's very female empowering.
Remember me?
I just want to encourage filmmakers to do what I do and to stop waiting. I had been wanting to make this story for years and kept procrastinating and putting it off, out of fear and not having the resources and the money. And finally, I just made a decision. I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I got to shoot on my iPhone. I'm going to go to Mexico and shoot it. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
So I'm Jay Whitaker, and I wrote it, and these are my wonderful actors in it. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Rachel Holloway, and I play Rachel in Bottom's Dream, the creation of our lovely friend Jay.
And I'm Nigel Lithgow, and I play Miles in Bottom's Dream.
We were all three in an acting class together.
Right. Okay.
And this was our an assignment. We had to write a short for a couple classmates, and when I went home, just knowing these guys, having gone a year in classes with them, just hearing their stories about life and who they are, I went home and it just popped out of me like in 5 minutes, and I thought, wow, this is kind of good. So I decided that I wanted to really make it, and we did, and we pulled it off, and it was really stressful and kind of the first time I'd ever done anything like that, but really, really exciting.
What was the most challenging aspect of getting into character for this film?
I mean, the wonderful thing is that I was pretty much playing myself. That was the beauty. But that in itself is actually incredibly challenging. The role of an actor is to create the unknown. When you get the gift of acting with friends and having the writer, director, producer be your friend, I don't know. It just brings this whole level of even more fun than usual, more antics. And it happened so effortlessly. And I'm so happy that people are liking the film, loving it, and enjoying it.
I'm from Liverpool in England, and Jay wanted me to be from Liverpool. So, all of a sudden I started talking like that again,
I directed them as if it were a play, like before we shot. So Nigel's been on TV a lot, but he has never really acted before. So this was his first acting thing, and he's just natural. He's a natural, and he's incredible.
The audience wants to know, have we had any discussions on maybe a possible sequel for this?
The feature, I just finished writing the feature of it last week. I'm really, really happy with it, and it's a movie that has to be made, I think.
My name is Ron Hansen.
And I'm Cindy Hansen.
Producer, directors, and
the writers for Drafted 2035. Centers around the general that tries to take over the world in a new world order and his son coming to reclaim it back.
I had the honorable role to be casted as the commander of the U.S. military.
This is a combat scenario. Any disobeyed order from the commanding officers is treason.
So, we're incorporating the bullets as CGI, and I have to kind of maneuver myself as where these bullets are coming from. The uniforms that actually were donated by the veterans to the production company, they actually were worn in Desert Storm.
Well, how about I take y'all through one Combat Torture 101.
Yeah, and it's such an incredible film. We took many years actually writing and preparing for this film. We had to recreate military helicopters on animation prior to AI,
Caressing all the thoughts we made. I'll play the fool if you be my fate. 'Cause you're so cool, but you can't.
filmed in 4 different states. LA, Las Vegas, Arizona, Chicago. First feature film, it was amazing.
Hello and welcome to the Indie Vegas Film Festival. We're so happy to have you. What's your name?
Law Marcus.
Oh, that's beautiful. And what do you do?
I'm a writer, director, producer.
Oh my gosh, what's your project? What did you work on here?
It's called Glass Casa. It's a feature film, and it's playing tomorrow at 2:00.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. Is this your first one or is this your
It's my first feature film. Yeah, I've done short films, and it's a dark comedy, murder, mystery, thriller. Bachelorette party gone wrong, kind of.
Oh, that sounds right up my alley. I'm a big thriller girl. Oh, this sounds so exciting. What inspired you to make this story?
Um, well, it was time to make my first feature film, and kind of it's it's set in this beautiful house, kind of this big estate mansion on the hill, in La Jolla in San Diego, if you know it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I needed to do something low budget, and this was a house that I had access to. So I kind of developed the script and the characters around the house. So the house is a big kind of character in the movie itself. It's Glass Casa.
That's actually amazing. You made the location just such an integral part of that movie and you kind of built it around that. That's amazing. That takes a lot of creativity.
Started with the location. So, and then I knew I wanted to make like a, do you remember Clue, like from the 80s with Tim Curry? That's one of my favorite movies. So I wanted to make kind of a modern day Clue.
I love that. Oh, that is amazing. Okay, so that I love that. So you're a filmmaker. Out of all the things that we can do with film, because obviously there's directing, there's producing, there's cinematography, and there's screenwriting, and then obviously the acting and the talent part. What drew you specifically to directing?
Good question. I started out as in my baby book, it says when I was 3, I said I wanted to be an actress. So I was always acting as a kid. And then I fell in love with writing, and I bought my own like video, little mini DV video camera when I was in high school, and just started shooting things and being behind the camera, and loving just the creativity of, you're kind of like the god of your own movie.
I actually really, really like that because that is pretty much the best way that I've heard that said. And honestly, to me, this sounds like it's your birthright. Since you pretty much, I was like, since you could walk or do anything, that sounds like that's what you've always wanted to do. That is amazing. So is this kind of like a full circle moment for you?
Yeah, it's really it's a movie that I'm really proud of, and having worked on it, poured my heart, soul, and sweat, blood and tears, everything into it. It's really rewarding to be recognized at a festival and to see it on the big screen. So this isn't our first festival. It's probably one of our last. It's actually already been picked up for distribution. You could see it on Amazon and Apple TV and Fandango and on demand. So um
You heard it here, folks. I'm like, oh my God, that is huge. That's so exciting. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. So are you kind of leaning away from independent film or do you still always want to do? I was like, do you have a love for independent film? Or are you just trying to build and grow your brand or
I'd love to make more Hollywood big studio films. I think obviously like starting out as an independent film, and then hopefully breaking into the industry and making films that reach, the world on a global scale would be the dream. And
that's amazing. No, and you're honestly well on your way there, obviously. That's incredible for you. Wow. I'm thrilled. So I had a question for you to wrap this up a little bit. So we're at a movie theater. Obviously, we always have the snacks. So what would be your go-to snack? Are you more classic popcorn? Do you like certain types of treats or candy, or you like to make your own and bring it in?
popcorn is definitely like my all-time favorite food. Like, you can't nothing beats popcorn in my book. But I did bring some kale chips with me on this trip driving out to San Diego. So those have a special place in my heart too.
I love that so much. I know anytime I smell any sort of popcorn, I immediately think film, cinema, and movies. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Are you an extra butter girl?
Oh, they've got all. I was gonna say they've got all those extra seasonings over there, so I'm definitely like pour all the spicy, salty stuff on. Yeah.
I love that so much for you. Thank you so much for your time. And you heard it here from social media shows here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival at the red carpet. Now, where can they find you? If anyone's looking to work with you, or they just want to ride the curtails of your fame and just become a fan, where can they find you?
You can check my Instagram, La Marcus Films, or I have a YouTube channel. I think also La Marcus. You can connect with me on Facebook, La Marcus. It's LaaMarcus. Yeah, happy to connect with any fans, friends.
I love that so much. Do you have any other big project in the work? What's next for you?
Well, I've got 2 little boys at home that I'm working on raising into little gentlemen, and I do have an idea that's percolating about adapting this book that my friend wrote about his travels in Alaska and kind of mixed with my own experiences backpacking through Alaska. So it's a great setting, and I mean, yeah, he's a very inspiring person. So um, it's percolating.
I love that so much. I love that you got something working already and brewing. That's amazing. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure. And you heard it here, folks. I was like back at the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at the red carpet, bringing you more interviews.
It is a
I'm Philip Sokolov, and I am one of the lead actors in this lady's film that she wrote, and she also starring in it. It's called Fritchie Manor.
How long was the process for you from start to finish wrapping?
I would say about 9 months.
Mr. Anderson, it's Miss Fritchie.
I haven't done anything wrong. Please, no.
When we were doing the set, it was very dark. So definitely dark colors gave it, the whole vibe, spooky, scary.
White meat is not really good for stew. But it makes a mean gumbo.
Go see Fritchie Manor.
And we're back live at the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at the red carpet, brought to you by social media shows here at the amazing Galaxy Theater at the Cannery Casino, where we're bringing you live interviews and special moments on the red carpet. Hello, welcome in, guys. It's such a pleasure. My name is Angela.
Hi, Angela. I'm Allison.
Nice to meet you. I'm Bobby.
Pleasure to meet both of you. So, what brings you here to the Indie Vegas Film Festival?
We're filmmakers.
Both of you?
Yeah. We just have a world premiere for our film Haunted, which I wrote and starred in, and that this one produced. Wouldn't be anywhere without this one. So yeah, it's actually a really big deal.
Oh, so we have like a triple threat here. I was like, so you starred, you also filmed, and you also produced it. Yeah. That is amazing, you guys. We got the dream team right here. So what made you want to actually star in this film?
Well, it's actually very much about my own personal experience with DID, which is a dissociative identity disorder. And it was about
So, really quick, for those that aren't familiar completely with DID, can you kind of clarify just a little bit on what that means?
Of course, it basically means the existence of multiple personality states or alters. Multiple personality disorder is kind of an antiquated term for it. Most people are more familiar with that. But as it's been more widely recognized and more studied, it's starting to become more and more kind of part of people's, not like experience per se, but like people are starting to recognize it more. And I wanted to, tell my own story about that, my own, like, the way that I found out as well as like the way that I grew from that discovery. So,
That's huge. I have chills because for me, it's like based on a true story. It's going through your experiences, your life, and the struggles, and I'm sure obstacles that come with that, and navigating that. That is amazing. Wow. So, question for you. So, for you, you wanted to produce this. Why did you want to produce this? Did you not want to be in the film with him, or do you have a fluent for producing, or
So, we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been working there in film for 2 or 3 years now, so I had a lot of connections. We filmed this during a lot of the strikes that were happening. And so it was, I had a lot of very talented people that were sitting on their hands, twiddling their thumbs, or looking for second jobs. And I was like, instead of just sitting around waiting for somebody else to do something, I told him, like, get your favorite draft ready. I'm gonna put a crew together. We're gonna pick a day and find a location, and put everything together. And so I just called up a bunch of my friends, called in a lot of favors.
this honestly sounds like a big passion project for the both of you. Am I correct? So, question for you guys: if this is a passion project, what really drew you to this for both of you?
For me, it was I had been working in location sound for a while, uh, and I have been fulfilling other people's visions for so long that I got to a point where I was like, I kind of want to start doing this for myself. And so we started with his because he had a final draft. We have one that we're writing together right now called We're Not Really Strangers. So the idea was to start the ball rolling on fulfilling my own vision rather than constantly working on somebody else's.
No, I absolutely love that. That's amazing. And for you?
other than like the personal story aspect of it, it was actually kind of the encouragement of others, not just my partner, but all of my friends. I actually developed this with like a voice acting team. There's like a lot of other voice actors that I worked with that like believed in me, encouraged me to write this project, and I got to bring them on. All of them are like incredibly talented artists. And I think part of what inspired me to do this was I was so tired of just sitting on my work when I could, you know, showcase it and bring people I love along for the journey. So,
I love this so much because one thing that I noticed about your guys' story specifically is that it's very relatable and it touches on something that a lot of people I feel like should know more about and a lot of people struggle with. So the fact that you're doing this, it's a full circle moment for you because obviously this is personal, this is your experience, and you get to bring this to life, and now you get to touch other people in the same way, right? I was like, how are you guys feeling about that?
it's in a theater. Like this is crazy actually. Like first movie I've ever made and it's being like seen here with like audiences inside of like theater. I've always dreamed of this. So it's like
Major full circle moment for you. Congratulations.
It's like a fever dream. It feels like I'm like living somebody else's life.
But it's yours. It's literally yours. You guys, this is so amazing. I love that you guys are excited about it. What is in the works for you next?
well, so there's We're Not Really Strangers, like Allison talked about. We're also myself working on an animated series, sort of in the vein of like an Adventure Time or a Steven Universe that's being created and in the works. We also have a couple of secret projects that are finished, but I don't know if we can really talk about. But you know, uh, maybe if you follow us on social media on our booth webpage where we do like ADR and like sound engineering, or just on our own personal socials, we They might be posting some cool stuff. Or come to an event.
Well, okay, you heard it here, folks. So we got to get their social medias, their website, everything, because we got to stay tuned because they're not leaking anything. So where can we find you guys?
On Instagram, Fixed and Post, SKHA for Skeltonhagen. And then either of our personal Instagrams, mine is sarcastic username here. I created it a while ago because every single username I tried to put in, it was like, that's already taken.
So it was just meant to be.
And Bobby.Skelton. I'm the only Bobby Skelton on the internet, it seems like.
You're probably lucky because Bobby's actually a very common name, so you're very lucky.
Yes, Bobby is very common. Skelton is not, I have discovered. So that's useful. People get it confused, but you can call me Skeleton. I know. I'm a string bean. It's okay.
You almost kind of have that Jack Skellington look, though. You know what I mean? You're nice and tall. I was like, you're thin.
Man in the world. If I for every dime I got for someone saying that, I'd be the richest man in the world. But yes, you are right. I am Jack Skellington.
Love it so much. You guys are such a pleasure. One last question to wrap things up. So we are at a movie theater. Everybody gets their snacks. What is your go-to snack? Are you classic popcorn? We like some candy. I was like, are we kind of the ones that like to sneak in our own food?
Oh, Bunch of Crunch. It's objectively the best snack at a movie theater.
Have some right over there.
I have some right over there. You put it over your popcorn a little bit. You eat it with the popcorn, changes your life. I'm telling you, Bunch of Crunch for real. And then
You heard it here. There's the tip. And as someone who actually enjoys Bunch of Crunch, I have to agree.
I sneak in my own snacks.
She does.
And I have not snuck any snacks into this theater.
Not this one, you guys, but normally on other occasions.
Because sometimes theaters don't let you bring in things like alcohol. So that's my go-to movie snack.
I love that so much. The liquid diet, everybody. Thank you guys so much. It's seriously been such a pleasure to meet with both of you and to discuss your stories. I am thrilled and I cannot wait. You heard it here. I was like, it's called Haunted, right?
Yes.
I was like, Haunted. Is that playing today, tomorrow, tonight?
Today at 4 p.m. Today at 4 p.m. Theater 13. So yeah.
It sounds like an interesting thriller. I know I want to see it. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been such a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing everything that you guys are going to create.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys.
Where do we?
He said here, but they were probably going to want to get your photo. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you, Angela. Here we are at the Cannery Casino doing the Indie Film Fest. I'm about to welcome some wonderful people who have been working really hard for their projects. And here we are. I'm your host, Genae Anderson, and here are our lovely ladies. Welcome in. You look amazing. Amazing. The color schemes, the vibes, everything's going. Starting off, what's your first and last name?
Abigail Cox.
Abigail Cox, and your name?
Meg Kelly.
Kelly. Okay, ladies, what brings you here to the festival today?
So we have a film in the festival. It's called BFA. I'm the writer and director, and she's our wonderful executive producer.
Mm-hmm. Anything tech you see, that's my job.
Amazing. We had an entirely two-person crew for everything.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was that like for you guys?
Insane. Ambitious to say the least. We shot everything in about 7 hours. Not even. Which is crazy. We everything from like creation of the script to a finished film took probably about a week and a half.
That's
Yeah.
Incredible. Women in our industry are fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so what was your kind of like curveball moments that you maybe weren't expecting?
Gosh, it's got to be the.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
We had the amazing Cabrillo Playhouse let us borrow their stage, and we didn't know they painted it purple. So we had to really figure out a way to make everything still look cohesive because I was also doing cinematography and everything like that. So I looked through my camera, I'm like, everything's purple. I was like, oh God. And it ended up looking great.
Yeah, but not only that, they didn't just paint it purple, they were painting it purple, so the stage was wet. Yeah. And we had one day to shoot it because we had a 10-person cast. And they had one day that we could all film, and so we had to wait for the paint to dry.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Your ability to create a project of this caliber and continue to have like amazing aesthetic in your personal life and be able to create such beauty in cinema, like that is such an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Proud of you both.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Like, seriously. So are you doing anything to celebrate especially?
I mean, we're from Southern Orange County, so we came out here today to come to the festival. This is our first festival for this film, so we're very excited to be here. Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's my first time in Vegas.
Really? Okay. Are you staying hydrated?
Yes,
Okay,
I've
good.
learned. Mhm.
Good. Hydration is key. That's
yeah.
amazing. So, in this project, what did you find to be the most rewarding in the storytelling process?
For me, it was very cathartic. It was based off of my college experience. I went to college for acting, and then 2 years in, I went, "This is dumb," and I left. And I left to do this full time, is to be a writer, director, actor. And so I think just getting the film together and kind of making fun of the time there. And this is the year my class is supposed to be graduating.
Really?
So it's kind of very cathartic to do all of this together. And I think just the fact that the film has been so well received so far is just very like rewarding. I'm like, okay, I made the right choice.
Good. And so in your time here, have you been able to pick up anything from other artists or inspirations that have really like helped you solidify your moment here?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, any film we see, we get inspired. We have like a little notebook.
Yeah. No, super excited. Or even with like just the landscape. I don't know why the desert just makes me want to write. I don't know. It's just severe. And I like we were in Palm Springs last year as well. So that was really just the landscape to get out of, California is nice. Yeah.
That's amazing. Ladies, we have been so grateful having you here with us. Like just being able to be in your space of creators who can create something in a pinch, like that's amazing. The project has been really well received, and I just wish you the absolute best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Anytime, we look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future because this is just the beginning and your space it's flowing and I'm excited to see what comes further on.
Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. And we're here live in Las Vegas at the Cannery Casino at the Galaxy Theater here for the Indie Film Festival. I'm your host, Genae Anderson, back in the action, seeing what's going on the scene. Pulse of the festival has been very exciting. Lots of new faces, lots of people who are creating projects out of pure passion and being able to create and contribute to the industry in a way that is so needed in a market that is starting to grow, specifically Las Vegas. So we're here observing, just taken everything in. I really, truly love being able to be in spaces with these creatives. You can feel the passion, you can feel the energy, and it's coming through in a way that really brings joy to the creative spirit. So here we are, living, and we have our next interview coming up shortly. You won't want to miss that. Welcome, gentlemen. Come in, come in. Hello. Great. How are you today?
Hi, doing great. Thank you.
What's your first and last name?
My name is Dr. Greg McWhorter and
Robert. My name is Robert Del Campo.
Welcome, gentlemen. So, what brings you here to the festival today?
well, our film, of course, we put together this great little film called Sanguine Deposit.
Wonderful. Would you mind explaining to our audience the process of what that was like for you?
Wow, it was a long process. So we started with me actually writing the story and kind of coming up with the idea, and then pitching it to my director here and say, I think we could do this. And we both had to get on board with seeing the same vision to get it done because I was the writer, producer, and then he was the director and my co-producer.
So, contributing together in a project of this scale, what did you find a surprise kind of curveball that you maybe weren't expecting when you started?
Everybody has their own opinion on how it should be, but working with Dr. Greg McCorder, it was fantastic. We really collaborated very well together. So that helped the production just come together really nicely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so what were your favorite parts of filming?
Oh, wow. I think going to some of the authentic, for me anyway, going to some of the authentic locations, like we actually shot our film is a period piece set in 1930. So we shot like in old train yards and old downtown streets, things like that to make it look as authentic to that time as possible. And to me, that's the magic of it.
Absolutely. The storytelling process is beautiful. So, what inspired this story to come into fruition the way it did?
Well, I'm actually a horror writer. I've written a couple of horror books, and I'm a member of the Horror Writers Association. I've been so for over 10 years, and I wanted to do a horror film. And luckily, I had this guy who's a big filmmaker, and I was like, hey, would you want to make a horror film with me? And tell your end of it.
So he came to me and he asked me, "Would you like to make this horror film?" And I said, "Man, I would love to." So we collaborated and we pieced it together. Part of the film is it's hard to find locations because it's 1930s period piece. So I had to learn Unreal Engine animation and create some of the sets for the film.
Wow. How long did that process take for you?
It took the whole summer for me to learn Unreal Engine and then to build the sets.
That's amazing. The process, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into creative works like this. It's beautiful being able to experience even just the process of what that was like with creatives. I love it. I love it. So, do we see any sequels in our future?
Well, not for this film, but we're already in pre-production on our next horror film, and our goal is to someday put like 3 or 4 horror shorts together into like an anthology horror movie with, like a beginning and an end. That'll be different from the short films themselves, but they'll all link together in like a cohesive, bigger story.
Wow, that's wonderful. What a cool project. How long of a span do you think that will take?
Well, I'm hoping not more than maybe a year or two tops.
But as in anything, pre-production takes time. You have to make sure when you go on set, you know exactly what you're doing, where everything is. So as a director, that's my main concern is that. So it's going to probably take a little longer to do all these movies, but that's what. Yeah.
Okay, so for anybody who's thinking about becoming a part of the Indie Film Festival and like creating a project even for it, do you have any advice for them that you wish you had when you were first starting out?
Well, make sure you really check out the festivals, which one are legitimate festivals and which ones aren't. There's a lot of them that just want your money. And I don't even know if they watch your film. They'll just say, take your money. And then like a month later, give you a certificate and say, oh, you won. And it's like, did anything happen? So stick with ones like Indie Vegas that are legit, where your film is screening in front of people. I think that is number one for us anyway, right, Rob? We want to make sure.
Exactly. So so you want to make sure, but most importantly is a lot of people talk and they say, well, let's make a film, but they don't actually do it. The best thing is to actually move your feet, make your film, and then enter it in various film competitions. And that's the way to go.
Yeah, get it out there.
Get it out there.
Excellent. Do the work, show up, and create the beauty. I love it. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you even just submitting and being in this space as we grow Vegas's market and show up for that. Are there any kind of exciting developments that you feel with the possibility of these new film studios coming in?
Oh, wow. I'm not sure. Rob, what do you think? That's a great
I'm
question.
sorry, I didn't, as far as the question.
As far as the question, do you see potential bigger opportunities for filmmakers with more of these studios and Vegas becoming more of a hotspot for the film industry?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. It's really about showcasing your film. So this is a great opportunity for like this film festival in order for people to enter their films into it. So it's a great opportunity for it.
And I'd like to add, as we've been hearing some of these stories coming out in Variety about how Hollywood filmmaking's dying for a lot of different reasons, I think that's where places like Las Vegas and Tennessee and Mississippi, Montana, all these places will become more into filmmaking because they'll realize, well, with the equipment, it might be easier to do and it might be just cheaper to make a film than relying on Hollywood, which is sad though. I love my heart is with old Hollywood, but yes, Vegas is probably going to start rising like other places as well.
Excellent. So, do you see yourself spending more time here in this environment and filming locally and creating stories around like our landscape, or do you see more kind of like diverse aspects?
Well, it just kind of depends what fits for us.
Yeah, it depends on the film. Exactly. You know, so if Vegas is the place that fits our film, then we're going to be here.
Yeah. We are thinking about some desert locations, so Vegas could possibly be one.
Wonderful. We love to hear it. Well, we're so thankful to have your time and just inspiration for your work that you've done. Thank you again. My name is Genae Anderson, and here we are at the Vegas Film Festival here at the Cannery Casino, and we are having a great time.
Thanks, Genae.
Thank you.
Anybody in the industry who really cares or has ever sat at a bar and has had a bartender ever really take care of you, watch the movie.
Grew up idolizing, Rodrigo Del Peche, Christian Del Peche, Dario Doimo. The best thing we can do is make it look easy.
It was amazing. It was it represented some beautiful years of the epic times of flair bartending. It showcased some of the greatest, legends of all times. It was just amazing to watch.
Really capturing what the essence of flair is. I think this movie is going to help, inspire the younger generation.
It was really cool to be a part of and see all those, to say, like, I was there. The way they summed it up was really, really cool. I think they did a really great job.
The film was amazing, by the way. You should check it out.
The energy in the room was absolutely insane. The support we had in the room was just incredible.
We're all family.
Oh, I loved it. It was beautiful. I just really loved the story. I'm an athlete, so I can definitely relate to training for something.
I absolutely loved it. The bartending world can be intense. The level of talent and heart that they have, and even in the fact that this is a competition, but they were all uplifting each other.
I recommend 100% because that probably show off the real lifestyle bartender, like a flair bartender.
They're showing us their cuts, their bruises, everything that they go through. It takes some real skill, and I really appreciate the bartenders that do the flair, because it's not easy.
This is awesome. We need it. Flair need this. People who flair need this. Write it down now. Watch the movie, support it, follow it, do all the funny stuff. And don't forget just have fun with it.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
And here we are. We just finished with a wonderful interview from some of our creatives here at the Vegas Film Festival, here at the Cannery Casino. Here we have another interview starting very soon. Hello, welcome in. My name is Genae Anderson. What's your name?
JB Lawrence.
And what brings you here to the festival today?
So we have a music video in the festival from a up-and-coming country artist from Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, what was the filming process like for you?
It was exciting because, for one, all of our locations that we had were authentic, from an old school downtown jail cell to we got permission from the county to set some stuff on fire. We had an authentic burned out house. So I would say probably the most exciting thing was the locations that we had access to.
We love to hear that. So tell me about the work that you did in this project.
So I was the director, cinematographer, and the editor for this specific project.
Key elements of what a film needs. That's wonderful. Did you find anything that was more of a surprise that you weren't expecting to come across in your filming process?
We had for this one everything mapped out pretty well from the very beginning. We knew that we were working against a lot of light, a lot of natural light. So actually, there wasn't anything that was like a huge surprise that or anything that held up the process. Or yeah, everything actually for this one stayed on track
Oh,
smoothly. So,
what was your secret?
preparedness.
I love that.
Yeah, and most of the time we have it. Sometimes we're working against that, but we learn to adjust. And I think we were so prepared for this one that I think that worked well.
Okay, wonderful. How long was the process from start to finish for you and your team?
I think about 3 weeks, and then we filmed on it for about 2.5 days. So pretty hefty pre-production because we knew that we needed permissions for one, and we knew that we needed all these great locations. So this particular pre-production was a little more hefty.
Wonderful. I mean, that's amazing being able to implement your action and just follow through with it in a way that leads to success, the fruition of a project of this caliber. Here, being able to experience the Indie Film Fest. Being here at the festival, is there anything that stood out to you the most?
About the festival, I think the communication with the festival directors has been awesome, and also holding it at the cinema has been great. Usually, film festivals, you get a wide variety of places that they're screened, but there's nothing like having your work screened at the cinema. So that's exciting. That is exciting.
Love to hear that. We're happy to have you. In your process from the start to finish aspect, did you find anything that you'll take away for future projects that you maybe not have like when you first started?
That's a great question. You know what I took with me? I think from this one, I was talking about the authenticity of the locations. I think from that point on, after this project, I'm kind of in this throes of wanting more authenticity within locations, um, a little more preparedness, like I talked about. That's such a key element. Um, but I think too, we had a great group of actors. This artist was great during the music video, and just wanting to take with me to work with that kind of caliber of artist and caliber of actors was so important. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you're really looking forward to in the film festival?
Our screening tonight,
Okay, and what time is that screening?
6 o'clock. I think it's first thing on for Block S. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. We look forward to seeing it, hearing about it, and just being able to share space with creatives such as yourself. Thank you for the work that you do. I mean, storytelling is so important, not just in this day and age where everything's kind of like digital and immediate, where you're getting like snippets, but being able to connect and have your story be told. And so you creating that is wonderful. I thank you for your work. It's wonderful. Keep doing it. Please, 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 please. And here we are at the Vegas Film Festival. We just had a wonderful interview with one of our directors. Here we are, and we're thankful for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to meet you as well.
When the better place.
All right, Michael Mahal here, the man of the hour, one of the men of the hour. We've been hearing so much about how much opportunity you've created for people and about all of your movies and all the ones coming out. And there are people here just supporting you and loving what you do. How does it feel?
It feels great. We've had a fantastic turnout. I really appreciate social media shows, networks, and you coming out. We have a great group of people. This movie is fantastic. The venue, the Beverly Theater, has been super amazing. We're here for the world premiere of Arena Wars.
We're the producers. You know, we raise all the money, we come up with the ideas, we hire the crew, we lead the project through post-production and marketing and distribution.
Shot this movie 2 days in LA,
and then we shot 2 days in Puerto Rico, and we shot 10 days in Vieques, which is an island off east of Puerto Rico. And the filming was going amazing, and then we had a COVID outbreak during filming, and so we had to shut down for a week, and the CDC came. Yeah, it was its own horror movie. So long story short, it went severely over budget, the movie, and we had to fly everybody back to Puerto Rico. But long story short, the movie turned out absolutely amazing. It really takes a team to make a movie. It doesn't happen from one or two people. Everybody from the PAs to the actors to the crew, everybody chips in, and it's a team effort, and everybody did a great job.
Here we are at the Vegas Film Festival here at the Vegas Film Fest, and we have our next interviewee. Hello, Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Richard.
The amazing.
The amazing Richard. It's about a deranged magician that believes magic is real.
Okay, how did you come up with this storyline?
Based on real life, obviously. No, you know what it was? I'm so fascinated by magic, and I'm just really happy to have it premiere at the yes, premiering at the magic capital of the world here in Vegas, and it was a dream come true. It's about a deranged magician, the amazing Richard. Um, and I can't give too much away. It's 6 minutes.
Okay. So we don't want to spoil it for the audience and for the film festival attendees. But tell us about the process. What was that like, start to finish?
You know, it's like torture. They say, you know, like it's like um forcing a movie into existence is what it takes, right?
It's definitely creation.
Happen. It doesn't happen on its own. So especially not like a low budget movie where there's no, you know, I'm just doing it with what I have available, right? I'm a real estate videographer, so that's where I make my money. And so I have all this equipment. I said, let's make a movie. Like I went to film school. I write screenplays. So let's do something creative. And so this is a great opportunity here to thank you to the festival, Indie Vegas, to John, to Peter. You guys rock. Thank you. Everything's been amazing. This is just a fantastic festival and a great venue, and we couldn't be more excited to be here.
So do you see yourself participating in the Indie Film Fest again anytime soon?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, Peter said I'm part of the family, which is ominous because we're in Vegas. Like, you're part of the family. I'm like, no, I think it's great.
Don't blow it. I'm totally kidding. You are clearly here and prepared and doing the work because it is hard telling a story and creating that from start to finish. It takes a lot of hours out of the day of a very busy life already. So, how were you able to maintain the creative process with the rest of life happening around you?
You know, the creative process, you got to find time for it. So like when you first wake up, you know, get the hard work done, whatever that may be. Get the hardest work done first. Get the hardest work done first, and don't give up on your creative passions. Like you got to find time for it. It's not easy to find time for it. Make time for it.
You are very devoted and dedicated. What was your kind of like firming moment that this is what you wanted to do with your time, with your life, with your passions? Tell us that story.
You know, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, and so it's just kind of like you know, something you know that you have to do, and so you do it. You find a way to do it. You also have to find a way to exist in this world, and so you have to balance. How do you do both? But you can't live without some give and take in the world. You have to have some of this, some of this. You have to have the yin and the yang. And so, yeah, creativity has always been an important part. Filmmaking's always been an important part. Always been writing movies and making movies as best as I can. You got to try your best. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up on your dream ever. This is the place to be reminded because the storytelling that's taken place here, everybody's perspectives and stuff that you might not have seen in your everyday life. And so I feel like this work is even more important in this day and age where we're knowing everything that's happening, but there still seems to be like human disconnects that still exist. And so being able to communicate in a way such as beautiful storytelling and what's being presented here at this festival, it's so key to be able to build bridges and just be able to reach out to humans in a way that might not have been possible before.
Everything's digital now. in the sense that we're all disconnected with Zoom and over the internet. So to be here in person, actually here screening a movie, not just on streaming, but in a movie theater. And so again, a big thank you to you and Peter and John and everybody behind the scenes that have put this together. Because we're all here now in the movie theater watching our films get made, and we live for this as filmmakers. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you coming all the way to Vegas from San Francisco or from these other filmmakers or from Maryland or from all over the world? I think people are coming here to this event, and it's fantastic. So this is we're excited to screen the amazing Richard. I almost choked on my gum. Very yes, so much excitement. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here again. We really appreciate your time, your vision, your dedication to this art. It is so key, and we're grateful that you're able to make it in this festival and just be here and tell your story. So thank you again. And is there anything that you're really looking forward to in the rest of your festival stay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I can meet some more of the filmmakers and learn more about the other movies that are being made, network, tell them more about my movie, and make connections that hopefully can lead to more creative work in the future.
Absolutely. We love to see it. We're grateful you're here. Vegas, our industry is growing in this space. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We won't 86 you anytime soon, darling. I promise.
I'll be good.
You'll be good. Enjoy the fest. It'll be good. Thank you for your time again. Thank you. Oh, and we're going to get a picture real quick. All right. My name's Genae Anderson, and we have our next interview. Hello, hello. Come in, gentlemen. I won't bite too much. Almost positive. Almost positive. So, what are your names, and what brings you to the film festival?
I'm Juan. I'm the writer director of The Last Shift. That's our film.
Okay.
I'm Joey. I'm the director of photography, and I make low-budget adult films.
I'm Ben, and I'm the camera operator on The Last Shift.
These are all key important stories or roles for the stories that are being created here. Did you find anything to be really surprising in your filming process that you weren't expecting maybe when you first started?
Do you want the short version or the long version?
Oh, give us it all. We want every detail.
Let's see. Between figuring out where we're gonna shoot, who we're gonna get to do gaffing, who we're gonna get to do grip work, who we're gonna do this and that, and there's just a lot of talking and fighting, and there were many nights where Juan and I were about ready to murder each other, but that's how you know we care about what we're doing.
It worked out. I mean,
It
we met so you meet
perfect.
so many good people, so many like amazing like talent that that's the best part about it. Just meeting all these new and amazing people.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you're here. In your storytelling process, was there anything that you're going to take away from this experience into your next works?
That's your question. Just take the pictures. Come on, man.
Just the same energy, really. Same energy that we've been bringing to these films. Just love, passion for the art in general. Just keep bringing our stories, making sure we push those messages that we want to do in each and every future project.
I love your passion. It's so important in this industry because, as we know, I mean, it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of organization, a lot of early mornings, late nights, random locations, reshoots, all the fun stuff that it takes to build a scene of this or film of this caliber. So, in your creative process, what did that look like in the creation for this film?
For this film, it's a lot of pain and energy, honestly. Like sleepless nights. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, this is part of a bigger project that I have, and it's uh on the first word that I put on, on that script, I was just like hooked, and it was hard for me to like want to like take a whole bunch of stuff out because I realized, oh, you want to make a short film, Juan. You might want to make a short film. You're not making a feature right now. That's for the future. So just stick to this, build a foundation, and go from there. But yeah, really, it's just making sure you put the right amount of love into it and not suffocate the project.
Huge. That's huge. What about you, gentlemen?
You just got to put the right people in the right job. You're talking about blood, sweat, and tears. I was thinking blood, sweat, and beers, realistically. You get down, you start storyboarding, you're like, all right, I'm done. I've done 90 pages or like 90 note cards for 20 pages. I'm great. Get an email from Juan. Hey, I cut this scene and I put this one in there. To the liquor store. And then you get right back to work. So it's just putting the right people in the right places and just having fun with it and not getting overworked. And yeah, just Enjoying every bit of it.
And making sure you have enough space for his for storyboard cards and all that stuff. So yeah.
Cards, a lot of note cards, a lot of note cards. 20 pages, 90 note cards.
Oh wow, wow! Were you staying hydrated through that process though?
Oh, very, very much. You know, if you just change a handful of letters in the word water, you get Bud Light. And just a handful of letters. Just a handful.
You're very Their ability to work through in that space is even impressive. It creates creative flow.
I don't know about impressive.
I mean, you're doing it.
It's the job.
Well, we made something. That's what matters.
Made something out of nothing, exactly. And that's really cool. Just getting to see the whole thing put together when it's all said and done. It's just like, ah, I did that.
So when is your screening?
We actually just had it. It was at
2
something.
Yeah, it was like
2 o'clock ish, something like that.
How was it?
It was great. Yeah, I was up here earlier, but I want to go again now with that I got my buddies here. It was a surreal experience, honestly. I mean, what you guys think?
It was weird finally seeing it on the big screen and not at like a projector at a library. That was cool. Satisfying. It was actually at a movie theater. That was fun, and it's just out of state. First time we've gotten out of our little niche in Maryland, gotten to go somewhere else. So very happy and excited to be here, and hoping we get to go to more of these.
So what do you plan on doing next with the festival? Let's start with you, darling.
Well, I always have new projects that I'm doing. I usually work freelance, but these are Joey's a childhood friend of mine. One I had the pleasure of meeting just maybe a little under a year ago. It's been a really cool experience working with these guys for the first time. I'm originally from the place where the film was shot out in Maryland, but I moved to LA a few years ago. They flew me back out from to Maryland, sorry, to work on this project. So it was a huge privilege to be able to do that, and I am really looking forward to the next project they have in store and hop on that.
Excellent. Can you tell us about your next project that you have in store? Are we flowing there yet?
Yes, I can. I can go into a little bit about that. Yeah, so the last shift, like I was here when I was here earlier, I was explaining it was sort of like a showcase of what I want to do with the feature, tell a story about growing up, especially like it's very personal story for me. Um, growing up and having to go from being like a kid to to a man and having to overcome all these obstacles and change, especially like change is a big part, making sure that you follow your dreams and understand that, like, you don't have to be where the world tells you to be. There are other doors out there for you, and you just got to work towards that and push through it. And sometimes things can suck and things can change. You may lose people on the way, but you got those memories, and that's what matters.
Absolutely.
But I swear, this is a very funny story. It sounds sad, but it's very funny.
A very real situation.
Well, don't comedy and tragedy almost go exclusively hand in hand, like the Holocaust and 9/11? That shit's funny 24/7. What I mean?
You know.
Sorry, it is what it is.
My goodness. Wow. All right. No, our viewers are awake. That's for sure. Here we are. Wow. I love the
Great for interviews, aren't I?
That's fantastic. So are you guys staying in Vegas past the film festival space, or what are your plans?
Just gonna be here till Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he got things to do, and we gotta catch a flight back to Maryland. So
Is there anything that you look forward to being able to do while you're in Vegas? Or are you gonna
keep watching more films, just sightsee, just meet new people, watch some awesome films.
Love it. All right. What about you?
You're asking if I'm staying in Vegas past the festival? No, absolutely not. I'm going back to LA.
He's staying out of trouble. He's staying out of trouble. We love to see it.
I am. I've already lost $14.
Oh, see, honestly, that could get you a lot of snacks. That could get you some snacks in this day and age. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time with us. We're grateful for your participation, for your presence here. Super excited. Of course, of course. Super excited to see more of the feedback and just being able to connect with more creatives like yourselves. So thank you for this interview. And I am Genae Anderson. Here we are with these gentlemen who have worked so tirelessly to create a story for us to be able to expand on. Come in, come in.
All right. Sorry, Mom.
All righty, my name is Genae Anderson, and we just finished another ravishing interview from some of the creatives here at the Vegas Indie Film Fest. Here we are at the Cannery Casino, here live, and we have another interviewee coming in. Come on in, darling. Hello, how are you today?
I'm great.
Excellent. What's your first and last name, and what are you doing here at the festival?
My name is Ryan Resnick. I'm a writer-director. I'm here to promote my movie, Climate Bros.
Great. Tell us about your film.
It's a sensitive story about a young intern who gets sent out by his podcast boss to get the mail, and a disaster ensues from it.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. How long did your storytelling process from start to finish take?
Well, I wrote it in July during the heat wave in Texas, and we were shooting it by that February. So yeah.
So, what events influenced your story creation?
So we had a heat wave in Texas, which I don't know if you're familiar with Texas at all, but we're already hot, right? So when we have like a heat wave, it's brutal, right? And I kind of live in the country and I have to walk to my mailbox. And so this is sort of like this character's journey sort of parallels my own daily struggle, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
And what was that process like for you?
It was amazing. Like this was sort of a journey into makeup effects for me for as a filmmaker, and now I'm addicted to them. And so my new project is going to be very uh, heavy makeup.
Okay,
Heavy
wonderful.
effects.
The
Yeah.
costuming, like, I mean, that's huge in the part of the creation space. So tell us more about how this became a new kind of like excitement for you. Like, what draws you to this new creative outlet within film?
Yeah, I was sort of afraid. Like I love horror movies and the genre, and especially old practical effects really appealed to me. And I wanted to try it, but I was nervous because you got to like really put a lot of trust in your FX artist. And we found somebody really great in our community, Callie Syme, and they were able to make a man's face melt right before your very eyes. It was a really exciting effect and some great, blisters and things like that. So yeah,
We're talking, yeah, extreme heat, extremely. Okay, I'm excited to hear more. All right, when is it being premiered?
it was actually yesterday. Yeah, I'm just here checking out some of the other work, but
Awesome. So here at the festival, is there anything that's stood out to you compared to like maybe other spaces where you might have premiered?
Uh, I will tell you, this is the biggest screen we've ever been on, and the best sound we've ever had. We put a lot into our sound design. We had a special theme composed with lyrics that kind of suit the occasion and stuff. I won't say it because there's a bad word, but yeah, it's amazing, and to hear it on that as a filmmaker, that's the kind of thing that you're just like, it's what you do this for. You know what I mean? So,
That quality, you want to be able to show it in the way that you envisioned it being presented.
I was calling people on the phone afterwards, like, you guys, I wish you were here. It was so great. Yeah.
Wonderful. So do you have any other fun plans in the time that you're here for?
I'm going to get steaks right after this.
Where are you going?
You know what? Caesar's Palace, but I don't know the restaurant yet.
Okay, all right. Caesar's Palace has lots of good, tasty options. You'll have fun, have a blast. Okay. Are you staying hydrated during your time here?
I'm doing my best, but I'll tell you, it's different. Even in Texas where it's hot, this is a different deal.
It's a dry heat. That dry heat kind of like lurks up.
Working me when I'm outside.
So make sure if you're having fun, just stay hydrated, get those electrolytes in. Excellent. Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you and your commitment to your film. And thank you for being here. We're happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Of course. Hello, my name is Genae Anderson. We just wrapped up with another wonderful interview from one of our filmmakers. The passion here is unmatched, being able to talk with these creatives, be in their space. Here we have another interview coming up. Won't keep you at the edge of your seats for long. We've got some good stuff coming your way, and it's real juicy. Come on in, darling. Come in, come in. Stay right here, right around this mark. Here, come in a little bit more. Perfect. I won't bite too much. So, what are your names and what brings you to the Vegas Indie Film Fest?
So I'm Jay Whitaker, and I wrote it, and these are my wonderful actors in it. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Rachel Holloway, and I play Rachel in Bottom's Dream, the creation of our lovely friend Jay.
And I'm Nigel Lithgow, and I play Miles in Bottom Street.
We're happy to have you here. I'm Genae Anderson. Nice to meet you. Yes. Yes. Wonderful meeting you, being in your space. So tell me, what was the whole process for you like in the beginning of the filmmaking process to the very end?
Yeah. So we were all three in an acting class together.
Right. Okay.
And this was our an assignment. We had to write a short for a couple classmates, and when I went home, just knowing these guys, having gone a year in classes with them, just hearing their stories about life and who they are, I went home and it just popped out of me like in 5 minutes, and I thought, wow, this is kind of good. So I decided that I wanted to really make it, like not just like a normal class project where you do it on your iPhone and whatever, like actually have a full crew, do a great film, and we did, and we pulled it off, and it was really stressful and kind of the first time I'd ever done anything like that, but really, really exciting. And these two are just so incredible. And I would love to have them talk about it. I'm gonna switch.
Yes, let's hear about it. Let's hear from the actors themselves. So tell me, what was the most challenging aspect of getting into character for this film?
I mean, the wonderful thing is that I was pretty much playing myself. That was the beauty. But that in itself is actually incredibly challenging. The role of an actor is to create this, the unknown, you know. So that in itself was just being true to me. I think was challenging. But here's the lovely thing: when you're when you get the gift of acting with friends and having the writer, director, producer be your friend, I don't know. It just brings this whole level of even more fun than usual, more antics. And it happened so effortlessly. As Jay was saying, from conception to shooting to they got it turned around so fast. It was just so much fun. And I'm so happy that people are liking the film, loving it, and enjoying it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. It's amazing. So, what was that process like for you for getting into your character?
Well, it was a little difficult and stupidly, really. I'm from Liverpool in England, and Jay wanted me to be from Liverpool. But unfortunately, I've not done a Liverpool accent for about 50 years. So, all of a sudden I started talking like that again, and it felt very strange. And because we used to have chicken and things like that, and I don't speak like this anymore. So it was a real character that I had to put on. I won't give too much away, but I grab a handful of mushroom gummies, thinking that they're gummy bears.
Yes.
Yes.
Invested. Wow. Okay. So, in your creative process, was there anything that maybe didn't make the final cut that you were hoping to, or did everything kind of flow in a way where you shot exactly what was needed?
Short, so there's not really anything to cut out. It's all right.
Yeah. Everything got kept, so we were very happy.
Amazing. Being able to do that on a creative level and a technical level, like that takes skill and finesse to be able to, okay, plan what you want to shoot and then execute it in a way where it's kind of like fitting the time constraints and then just being able to like edit, do all the fun stuff.
So this will be the premiere of it. So now we're going to see if people laugh or not.
Hey, when is your premiere?
6 tonight.
6:10,
6:10
yeah.
tonight.
Okay, so that's coming up. That's exciting. Is there anything that you're going to do to prepare before you make your great debut of watching it?
Give
Do some mushroom
everybody
gummies.
give some mushroom gum. Give everybody $5 in the audience to laugh.
So
Please
good.
laugh.
We are looking forward to it. That's super exciting. In your process of kind of like coming together in this way, I feel like it is beautiful to be able to work with other strangers, but tell me about maybe some of the complexities of working with people that you already know. Like there's going to be an element of trust there, but was there anything that you maybe weren't expecting to come up that did within the filming process?
I think this is Jay again.
Come on in, darling.
You know, I I directed them as if it were a play, like before we shot. So we did a lot of rehearsal, and that was where I was involved. And then when we got in there, I was so stressed that I just left the room and I just let the director do it. And so I think that was the strange thing that for me was how stressed I was and how I just couldn't even I couldn't even be there.
You
Um
no.
No.
yeah.
No.
But
It's the first I'm learning of this. I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's a great day.
And then he performed in it as well.
Yeah, he did.
oh well.
He makes a cameo.
I do make a cameo. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
We love that. We will definitely be looking forward to see that special cameo. That's so cool. How are you able to like regulate in that process? Because as we know, as creatives, if you have some blockages coming up and you don't want to affect your project, but how do you regulate on like a professional level to be able to make sure everything runs as it needs to?
Well, I just focused on doing things that I could do, like order the food and things like that, so that I could let them do it. But yeah, I just kind of stepped back and just let it happen because I knew these guys had it, and so I was just going to get in the way if I was around, so I just stepped away.
That's beautiful to be able to work with people that you trust enough and know enough to be like, okay, hey, I know what you're going to bring to this space, giving them like the actual like holding space to do that. I feel like that's huge because on a technical level, I mean, there's so many elements that I feel like starting out you might not take into consideration. And so having to nail all the details and still be able to have complete faith and trust in your team to be able to show out and bring these characters to life in a way that you envision it, like that's
Yeah.
massive.
And and Nigel's been on TV a lot, but he has never really acted before. So this was his first like acting thing, and he's just natural. He's a natural, and he's incredible.
Mushroom gummies help.
Yeah.
Mushroom gummies helps. Is that what I heard? That's amazing. You guys have such great personality.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to be in Vegas for?
Just tonight. Yeah.
All right, you're doing it the good way, the traditional way. In and out. Okay. So while you're here at the festival, is there anything else that you're really looking forward to witnessing or learning about?
It's just about like connecting with other filmmakers. So I want to go see some other people's work. Hopefully, run into them out outside, like in the happy hour or whatever, and talk shop and try to make some connections. Yeah.
The audience wants to know, have we had any discussions on maybe a possible sequel for this?
The feature I just finished writing the feature of it last week.
What?
So it is finished.
That's exciting.
I mean, it's a draft, so I have a lot to do on it, but I'm really happy with it, and it's a movie that has to be made, I think. Yeah.
Storytelling is so key to honestly the human experience, in my opinion. There's so many different ways that we can connect and learn at a way where it's more well received because you pop a movie in or you see something pull up. You're like, okay, let me see what this art is. Let me see what story is wanting to be told. So
Totally.
thank you for your work in creating every part of this and being able to come together here at the Vegas Film Fest. Like, we are super excited to have you. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, very good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you are
you.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And honestly, so are you guys. I'm really excited for your work and being able to receive it even more. So thank you again for your time. Can we get a picture before we
Yeah,
go?
absolutely.
You heard it here first, folks. We have a wonderful time here at the Vegas Indie Film Fest, connecting with the creatives, hearing about the passion, the storylines behind the stories. Here we are. We have another interviewee coming in. Welcome, welcome. Hi, good. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. My name's Dylan. I'm from Myanmar. So my movie Zuma is screening on this Sunday, 8 p.m. I would like to invite everyone to join us about the human right movie.
Oh, wonderful. Human rights, that's so key. And honestly, being able to receive that in a way in this filmmaking modality is so important. Tell me about some of maybe the challenges that you weren't expecting in the beginning of filming.
So the revolution happened since 2021. It's 4 year already. It's very challenging. I grew up in a city and then I never been to the Myanmar border. So that border is a lot of things happening, it's not secure and a lot of people are fighting for freedom. So when I go out there, it's not safe for me. That is very challenging, the location why. And I have no idea about the location, but I have to make it happen. I have to tell this story. This is really important for us, for Myanmar people. It's a human right, and I want to make it a winner internationally. So now we're winning 14 award internationally, including human right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you. It's including human right award and humanitarian award as well.
So tell me, darling, is there anything like maybe for the audience members who aren't able to come in and witness the premiere live themselves? Is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience here today on what they can take away from what you're presenting here at the film festival?
Absolutely. So I want everyone to come and see and what is happening in Myanmar since 2021 so they can talk about it. They can make an awareness for our people. That's really important for us. So I would like to invite everyone come on Sunday around 8 p.m. to make it happen and to see our people suffering in Asia.
Thank you again. How long did this process take from start to finish?
The movie is gonna be 70 minutes. It's a little bit 1 hour. Yeah. So I been post-production for almost a year, pre-production for over 1 year. So it took me over 2 years to make this movie. So I can able to shoot this movie in 2023 April.
Okay. Is there anything that didn't make the cut that you were hoping to make the cut, or did you have every point made that you were wanting to?
I think I including a lot of important scene in the whole movie. We shot it for over 2 hours, but for editing reasons, we have to make it a little bit short for international audience because they don't really know about our country and our people. It might be a little bit longer for us, so I make it like 70 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Were there any curveballs that you weren't really expecting outside of the safety that we already mentioned in your filming process?
The safety why is I make it happen, right? And then I make it out to United States. So now I can tell internationally. And when I'm making that movie, it's an unsafe. So I have to move around every single night. So I couldn't tell everyone where I sleep because they don't want this story out there. So they might do something to me. When I shooting this movie, I can hear gun shooting, the bombing. It's a lot of things going on at the Myanmar border, and then I can able to tell this story. I'm very lucky to tell this story. Yeah.
How were you able to maintain your composure in order to make sure this came into completion? Like, that sounds like a lot that was going on. I mean, even just on a basic safety level, where I feel like some people can take advantage, where, okay, we have our location, we have even just like an outdoor shooting space. So your experience was very different. So how did you maintain your kind of like composure to finish it?
And then one thing is I'm born and raised in Myanmar, so I speak the language, I know the people, so I try to get along with the police out there, like a local government, like a Thai government. And Thai police, we have to get along with them, and we have to tell the story, right? So and then I can able to communicate with the people get involved in this movie. So I will be contacting with them the people like over 1 year, build a relationship with them so they trusting me. So it's just a lot of work. Yeah.
Have you been able to reach out to anyone that you were working with during that time since wrapping filming?
I can reach out to some of the people still living out there fighting for freedom. And unfortunately, two of the actor already passed because during the revolution, and I lost them, and I just so not happy about that. They're so young. They are 21, 22. They're fighting for freedoms.
Right. That's so impactful. Thank you for your time and dedication and making sure that this hits audiences and just spreads awareness. That's a huge key because you can't fix something if you don't know there's even a problem happening. So thank you for your work and your devotion. I mean, it took some serious guts to be able to present this and much less have it feature in one of our film festivals. So thank you again so much. Is there anything that you want to share with the audience? And we know about the screening and we want to encourage as many people to come to that. But on this topic, do you feel that there's any message that you want to share that you have an audience that wants to hear it?
And I would like to invite everyone in Las Vegas audience, just please come and join and watch the movie, what is happening in Myanmar. They will take away a lot of lessons. They will learn about politics in Asia.
Great, perfect. Thank you again for your time and your work. It is so important. I'm excited to see this screening. It's so key. Thank you for taking the time to bring this moment to our attention and allowing us to hold space and create movement for change.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I also really appreciate it for Indie Vegas Film Festival, especially Peter screening the Zuma to make it awareness, to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you again for your time. Enjoy the rest of your film festival experience, and we look forward to hearing what's coming next for the movement of freedom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we get a picture with you?
Sure.
Perfect.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
And welcome to the next exciting episode of
Arena War. Fresh batch of institutionalized gladiators fighting for their freedom. Ready, here we go. You guys heard Perez? Yes, smell that. Get back!
Those on the line, the parole board has offered you a ticket out. Win Arena Wars, win your freedom. 7 arenas with 7 of the most vicious killers the world has seen in the last decade. You make it out alive, you get to go home.
Luke Bender, you're an innocent man. Innocent man can mean big ratings.
I'll be watching.
I think it's time to audition Mr. Bender.
What was your last physical?
Cell block shower this morning. Oh yeah.
You ready for this?
Impressive showing out there tonight. You're the new fan favorite.
Are you with me? Cutie pie back for the kill.
If you want to live through this, we have to work together. I'm watching you.
Smile for the camera, thug life.
Wow!
It's showtime!
We have to finish this.
Come on!
Doesn't sound much like rehabilitation, does it?
And we're back. I was like, the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at the Galaxy Theater at the Cannery Casino. We're getting you thought-provoking moments and memories and interviews with some of the biggest stars in the indie film industry. And we have an interview coming in right now. Hello, hello. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. My name's Angela. What's your name?
Pierre, nice to meet you. Pierre, nice to meet you.
And what I was like, what do you do?
So I was the director, writer, and co-producer of one of the movies that have been just shown in the cinema, actually.
What's the name?
It's called Whisper in the Dark.
Oh, okay. Can you give us any hints about the storyline at all without giving too much away? We don't want to spoil anything.
So basically, the movie is about there's one guy played by Luca Colucci. There's also my co-producer on the project. He's actor and producer, and he's living in one house, and he's got, I'm not too sure about the word in English, but agoraphobia. You know when you're afraid to go out, and it gives you anxiety, panic attack.
Yeah, like a hard time, like leaving your house, getting anxious or stressed, like wanting to leave your house.
Yeah, that's correct. So he's going through this. So basically, he's stuck inside of his house, and he lives through everything that is like internet, like he orders food online. He's going through therapy online. He play video games online. His friend come to visit him, or he play video games online with him, and something will happen. Is he's gonna start to have some ghostly visits in the house, and it happens that he can't go out, but he's stuck with those ghosts in the house. And more we go through the story, more we will understand who those ghosts are and what their purpose in the story.
It sounds actually very interesting and very fascinating. What was the inspiration behind the story for this?
Good question. No, basically, with Luca, that is my business partner, we wanted to do first like a gangster movie in Switzerland. So I'm French, she's from Switzerland, and it happened that it completely failed for some reason. So we wanted to do something way more simple. We say, okay, we're gonna take less budget and less location, something very simple. So say one house, few actors, and then we just create something around this. So we didn't go through like I was inspired by something, I wanted to do it. It's just like we challenged ourselves with one kind of set, and then we did a movie through this, basically.
Oh, I love that. I was like challenging and thinking outside of the box, getting creative with it. So what for you for independent film, what does independent film mean for you?
I don't know. I have no clue.
So what draws you to the film industry?
I think being an independent filmmaker is also for a young filmmaker like me to step in the big industry before going through biggest production. So I think is quite a mandatory step for every filmmaker, and also it's a good way for freedom, creative freedom, because I don't have a studio telling me what to do. I'm technically the studio, so there's a lot of freedom on creating movie through independent filmmaking, basically.
No, definitely, absolutely. Another thing I wanted to ask, because of independent film and stuff like that, what are some of the challenges that you find facing in this industry?
Money.
I was like, I think that's for everybody.
No, I think that's the main issues when you start to make films is why people will invest in your project. I'm not famous. I don't worth anything. So I think that's the most challenging things at the beginning when you start to be a filmmaker. But we find amazing, trustworthy investors that decided to invest in our project, and we ended up making the movie. But we had like a super low budget, like £25,000, which is really $35,000, something like this.
It sounds pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we wanted to have like just one location, because I didn't want to do something I don't have. I wanted to do with what I have. So it makes sense. Not pretending I have this and it looks bad. I have amazing cameras. I have amazing director photographies. So we're just trying to stay simple, efficient, and have a very good photography, good sound, good music, good acting, and this doesn't cost anything basically.
Oh, absolutely. I love that so much for you. Do you have anything in the works for your next project, or can you hint on anything like that?
Just finished. We are currently editing my second movie as a director, and also the second movie of our production company. That's called Issues Production. So we just finished. No, we don't just finish. We just finished editing, and now it's going through sound and the color. And it's a slasher movie that has been shot in the Alps in France, because it's originally where I come from, and I always wanted to do like a movie there. So we said, okay, let's do it with the same team, basically, same guys, same team, not the same.
That's awesome. Well, it's good that you can keep the same team behind you and everything like that. And this also sounds like a little bit more personal for you because it is coming from your home.
Ironically, no. Ironically, not really, because the story Whisper in the Dark was more when I was writing in more personal story, when I took a lot of things within my experience and what I've seen in the world, when close in one the location, when the other film is more a fun writing and somewhat very personal for me, a very like huge. So that's the actual exact opposite of Whisper in the Dark, basically.
Okay, awesome. That's so exciting. I was like, so you got this one in the books already. You have another one that you're pretty much finishing up now. It sounds like you're moving and grooving and you're not going to stop, are you?
No, that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, you heard it here, folks, at social media shows. I was like, and let them know. I was like, I want them to know exactly where they can find you. I was like, in case you want to get anyone else on your team or I was like, any sponsors, where can they find you?
They can find on Instagram Issues Productions, Issues Production Ltd, and website. I'm redoing the website, so I don't have any website, but it's gonna be www.issuesproduction.com. But for now, the website is in maintenance, so Instagram is the best shot.
Perfect, beautiful. You heard it here. I was like, and that website is coming soon, guys. So I was like, keep posted on that. Thank you so much for your time. I just have one thing, since we are in a movie theater and everybody has their snacks. If you go to a movie, what are you getting? Are you classic popcorn, candy, or are you getting creative?
Good question. Because in France, before moving to UK, because now I live in the UK, we only have candies and popcorn. But then when I moved in London, it was hot dog, nachos, everything. So I will say old school popcorn.
I love it. Keeping it classic. Everybody loves popcorn. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing everything else that you're going to create. And then we'll get a real quick photo. There you have it. We are here at the Galaxy Theater at the Cannery Casino, here for the Indie Vegas Film Festival, bringing you stories not just from here, not just from the States, but even overseas and over in Europe. We're bringing you everything from everywhere. And we have our next group of interviewers coming in. Hello, hello. How are we? I'm Angela.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. I'm Sam. This is Sarah.
Hi. Nice to meet you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what brings you to the Indie Vegas Film Festival?
We're very excited to be accepted to be selected, I should say, for our film, A September to Remember. It's a short film. It's about my real life day of September 11, 2001, and what I experienced on the West Coast, and the trauma that we still faced that reverberated across the country. And I describe it as the untold story of the racism Middle Eastern Americans got in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. But really, it's not a downer film. It has a message that I'm really proud of. And my wife, who was very young during 9/11, she kind of got a whole different perspective, getting a real sort of raw story of it, not from what she's read in the history
Yeah,
books.
it's like a totally different point of view than I was taught in school.
That's unbelievable and very commendable for you to touch on something that has been a big aspect in our entire history and to bring another perspective up from it. And that's brave, it's commendable. I'm sure it's going to move people. So, this is a very personal story for you, I'm guessing, correct?
Yes.
So, what inspired you to take this and make it into a film?
Very good question. I mean, it was the 20-year anniversary that just passed a couple years ago, if you remember. And so it was, I just felt like the time was now. I felt like no one really talked about that sort of, story. Obviously, it was the most tragic day in our country's history. So it's not that was the focus, and it should have been. But it's also, us other, Americans that were traumatized by it. And it's just, yeah, it's really sort of getting the perspective that we're all Americans. It doesn't matter if you're African American or Chinese American or Middle Eastern American. We were all attacked that day, no matter where the killers were from. So, yeah, it's just really sort of telling that story, and really sort of raw, like by the numbers of what happened to me that day, the day on the day of, and the dinner that we had. So that was a real personal story of the awkward dinner that I had with, you know, uh, my friend at the time and their family, who were, Americans, and, white Americans. And I was sticking out like a sore thumb, and there was kind of an elephant in the room, and the tension there that was, I was trying to really sort of convey that in the film, and I really hope it got across. And I'm so excited it's playing on a big screen like this next to a Ben Affleck movie. I mean, this is what every filmmaker dreams of.
I was just about to ask that. I was like, how does this feel for you? Because this has to be a full circle moment for both of you. So what are some of the emotions, the thoughts that you're feeling for this process?
For people not to boo the film or think it sucks or walk out, that's really what I'm hoping for. No, it's just for people to see it. It's what anybody dreams of. Whether you're Ryan Coogler, Ryan Coogler, has number one movie in the world right now, and he wrote this beautiful letter that I got emotional reading it, and you just appreciating people for showing up. So that's what any dream for a filmmaker is, whether you're the top of the top like Ryan Coogler, or me, who trying to make a name for myself. My dream is to make a feature film, and so this is, I feel like, the first step. And being here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival, this is our favorite city. We got married in this city, so thank you. So, and it's our favorite city to vacation in. So to be accepted into this festival in particular is such it makes even more of a mark for me, and makes more of an impact for us. So it's such an honor.
I love that so much. This is really a full circle moment for you guys. Now, I do have to ask, because this film does hit a lot of, it's a huge point in history, and we all went through, we all had different emotions and triggers and feelings for this. So, did you come across any obstacles creating this film?
Yeah, that's another really good question. I did, because I'm an adjunct film professor at San Jose State University. So my students made up for half the crew of the film. So, and I wrote the script, and part of my class that I'm teaching, it was real sensitive, and, with the whole, I don't want to say it, like, woke generation right now. And, there was like, what happened with the hate crime, not to get into the details that my family dealt with. They called us camel N-word. And so that was literally in the script, and it gets vandalized in my dad's rug delivery van. Rug, it's very cliche. We're Persian, very cliche Persian rug dealers. And so that, things like that, just really getting the real raw story, and how to sort of maybe water it down or sugarcoat it a bit because of the sensitivities today. But finding that balance was very challenging. So that's a good question. Yeah.
I had to ask because, like I said, it's truly commendable to take something like that, because I completely understand that you're going to have people that are going to view it a certain way. So for you to have that courage and bravery to create it is You should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I'm thrilled to see it. I know the world will probably be thrilled to see it.
I hope so. I hope they watch and I hope they enjoy it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys. And just to wrap things up, because I have to ask, because we are in a movie theater. Everybody loves film, and we all have a snack that we go to.
Yeah.
So, what would be your go-to snack for a movie?
I have 3 go-tos. I always get a jumbo popcorn, a blue icy, and like some sort of like sour candy, and a hot dog
Hot
too.
dog. Hot dog. It's like you're gonna say hot dog, right?
I get like I can't just.
Like I take her to like the nicest hot dog, like gourmet hot dog places, and she's like, no, I prefer like movie theater hot dogs, like microwave, like literally she says that.
Fun, yeah.
Yes.
I love that so much because you're a girl after my own heart. I'm blue icy, something sour, and popcorn and a hot dog. That is too funny. I love that. What about yourself?
Yeah. You know what? I always try to booze since they started serving booze because they didn't serve booze in theaters in my day.
That's very true. This is a new thing.
It's a new thing. So booze is my go-to now, but from back in the day, I was always kind of healthy. Pretzels, salted pretzels. Way to go with mustard for sure. That's the way to do it.
I love that so much. I love that you brought up booze. I feel like everybody's like, been popcorn. You're like, liquor, booze.
Absolutely.
Give me the booze.
Calling my name. It's happy hour right now too. It's Friday, 3:00.
Thank you guys so much. I am thrilled to see the movie. You heard it here. It is going to be a movie to remember and mark it down. Now, in case anybody wants to find you, follow you, got fans. I was like, where can they find you at? Websites, Instagram?
Instagram. I'm not that much on social media, but Instagram at September to Remember. ASTR. Sorry, at ASTR, which is the initials of my film. That's the best way to learn about the film, and then you can find me through that page. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. No, not a problem. And then let's get a photo quick before you go. I was like, got to get your moment in the spotlight. And you heard it here first, guys. We have memorable stories, everything from just chilling thrillers to moving documentaries, personal stories that tug on your heartstrings. This festival is a weekend to remember. And we have another interviewer coming in. Hello. How are you? I'm Angela.
Yoshi, nice to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. So what brings you to the Indie Film Festival this year?
Well, so actually, it's my first year being part of the Indie Festival. I'm so excited to be here. I was at the Golden State Film Festival that they ran for the programmers of this festival, and I got an invite to come back and come to this one. So I'm just excited to be here.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Wow. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, okay, so taking this whole profession seriously, I would say since 2018. So for the past almost 7 years, 7.5 years, yes.
And then, so what do you have coming out? Do you have a feature film, short film?
So right now, I'm on a festival run, and it's gonna be it's a short film. That's a thriller.
Oh, I love thrillers. Can you tell us a little bit about the story without giving too much away? We don't want spoilers or anything like that.
Okay. So without giving too much away, it is about like online dating and dating apps, and so like this guy and this lady, young, they meet because they're both searching for love, and they meet on the app, but one person is not really what you call a good person. I'll leave it at that. So you have to find out and see who's bad and who's not.
Ooh, I love that. I'm actually already interested because it puts the modern day society into terms. I love that so much. What inspired you to do this story?
So I started writing the story back in college. My last year in college was 2018 with a friend, and we just talking about how relevant online dating is nowadays. And so we were like, you know what, man? Like, what if like the chances of meeting somebody, you think everything's going well, you think this is your person, and then they turn out to be not their person, but they turn out to be something completely different. That's kind of dangerous. So that kind of inspired me, and I've always been a fan of like thrillers and stuff.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so it's almost like a passion project for you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, I definitely have a passion for the thriller and just for like dramatics and kind of like scary stuff, kind of stuff that kind of puts you on the edge of your seat.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, for me, I'm always on the edge of my seat. But so for you, I was like, so what does being part of this film festival mean to you?
Well, it means everything. I'm honored. I'm really honored and grateful to be here. I've been looking forward to this for a few weeks now when I finally realized that I was going to be invited to come and got accepted. I have a lot of support here of parents and close family and friends, my siblings. So it really means a lot for all of us to experience and have this moment together.
What is it? What are the feelings? What are some of the emotions that are coming through for you right now?
Right now, it's just excitement, a little overwhelmness, just to be out here in Las Vegas. And then even like, I'm always taken back when I come to these things and seeing myself and my project, my vision out on the big screen. It's a cool moment. I'm just always like, wow, we really did this.
You must be a true filmmaker because I can even see and tell that you're getting emotional over that and how passionate you are about it. That is a true artist right there. So another question I have for you, because I'm assuming you're not done yet, right?
No, well, as far as with the
As far as your next project, do you have anything exciting that you're kind of starting or gonna start?
yeah, so I have another project that I'm doing with another group. This project that's in the festival now, I wrote this one, but this one I'm not writing, I'm just acting in it, but I am actually shooting it next week. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. So you're wearing multiple hats.
Yeah, multiple hats has got to keep the ball rolling, you know?
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love that for you so much. And I feel like most people in this industry, we do. We wear multiple hats.
Right. Yeah, this one right here, I wrote and I produced and I starred in it. Yeah, so multiple hats going on for this project right here.
So for this project specifically, did you run into any sort of obstacles or what were some of the challenges that you had when you were creating this?
Some of the challenges were probably, I would say, location-wise, just trying to because some of the challenges that I have is location because some places in the film are public places like coffee shops and a park, and we had to get like permits and stuff like that, and to make sure that everything ran smooth. But other than that, I would say it was pretty much smooth sailing. Just the location-wise was the toughest part.
That's awesome. I was like, yeah, if there's one, there's always going to be one complication,
Yeah.
but I'd love to ask what it's going to be because indie film, it takes a lot of creativity, a lot of out of the box thinking to come up with some of the things. So that's amazing for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I do have to ask before we wrap up, since we're in a movie theater, I need to know what is your movie snack?
Oh, go-to snack. Definitely hands down has to be popcorn, the classic popcorn. It's really hard for me to go to a theater and watch a film without having popcorn. I think that's part of the whole experience. It adds to it.
I know it almost feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Exactly, it does.
Well, you heard it here, guys. He's got a film coming out, and then let them know actually where they can find you, whether it's social media, website. You're gonna have fans at some point.
Oh, I appreciate that. So you can find me on Instagram at Kio Johns. That's going to be KIYOJOHNZ. Kio Johns, all one word.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, and we cannot wait to see what else you're going to create.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
And we're back. This is Angela Zelensky hosting the Indie Film Festival Red Carpet, and we're bringing you more moments and more interviews with fellow directors, producers, cinematographers, actors, writers, you name it, we've got it. Here we are. We have another interviewer coming in. Hello, how are you? I'm Angela.
I'm Jeffrey Lanier, a screenwriter for Trapped Inside My Sin.
Oh, wow, this sounds interesting. Can you give us a little bit of insight into the story? We don't want teasers or anything like that. We don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, so it's a horror film, Trapped Inside My Sin. It was created by, the original idea was created by Vinny Velarde. He was our filmmaker producer. I wrote the 90-minute screenplay for it. And it's just about a guy who's being punished for a sin that he had previously done back in the day. It's now coming back to haunt him in current time. So you're kind of following him through this whole journey and trying to figure out at the same time what's going on and how is he going to solve this problem of, something attacking him, basically.
Oh, that actually sounds amazing. And it sounds very relatable because I feel like everyone's been there. We've all made mistakes in the past, and sometimes we can get away with it and it never comes back, but there are times where it comes back to haunt us. So that's amazing that you touch on that. What inspired you to create this?
Well, honestly, the idea was originally his. But what I liked about the story was that it's very realistic, and you can relate that to anything. We all make mistakes and we all do go through things. So it was nice that it was very realistic because when you watch this movie, you're going to see that what's happening to him can happen to pretty much anybody. This is something that's very, close to home for a lot of people. So, and it's a really big issue that's actually going on in the world. This particular thing that he did wrong. So I don't want to spoil it too much because I really think it's nice to see like the reveal of what happened in the movie. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, that's amazing. How long have you been writing for? I was like, is this normally what you do? I was like, or do you kind of wear multiple hats? Do you do a few different things?
Yeah, well, I have a normal job. I'm actually from New York. I work a city job there, and this is a hobby I picked up since college. So I graduated college in 2022. I'm only 24 years old right now, so I'm a young screenwriter still. Yeah, but this is the first feature film that I've written, so this is the longest screenplay I've written. But I was happy, to face the challenge and go for it. And I'm excited, with the final product that we got out of the movie.
So that's incredible. And that's a huge milestone, especially to be, I was like, someone your age. I was like, that you're already doing a feature film. That is so exciting. Wow. What are some of the emotions around how you're feeling with this project, being here at this film festival? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's an exciting feeling. I was glad to get into the festival. This is one of the few that we've heard back from so far. We have some other festivals that we've, sent our movie out to, but it's a really good feeling just knowing that, some of the work that we put into kind of paying off and that people are seeing, what we were able to do with our budget that wasn't the highest budget, but I feel like we still got a final, like a good product, in the end.
That's one of the things about independent film is that there can be a lot of challenges with it. Did you and your director and producer, did you guys have any big challenges or what were some of the obstacles that you guys had to work through with this?
Yeah, I mean, working with the low budget, trying to still create, a movie that was good and scary and, still try to deliver that emotion. We kind of didn't, we put a lot of effort into it. We didn't try to, I didn't want to curse or say half-ass, but, you know, we put a lot of effort into it. So we wanted a cohesive film, and I really think we got that. But most of it was, finding actors and trying to stay within our budget to create the best, film possible.
No, I absolutely love that. That's incredible. Do you have anything exciting that's coming up in the works for you?
Yes, well, I'm working on our second feature film. I don't want to give away too much, but this is going to be more of a slasher film as opposed to this one being more of like a paranormal style film. So the next one's going to be a slasher, and I have put a good dent into my second feature screenplay so far. So that'll be coming out soon in the coming year or two.
You heard it here, you guys. I was like, he's got something in the works, and we're going from thriller to slasher. So I have a question for you. While we wrap this up, since we're in a movie theater, everybody gets snacks and they have their go-to for snacks. What is your go-to when you go watch a movie?
Oh, that's easy. For me, it's definitely nachos with cheese, and I'm always getting an extra cheese. So I need two cheeses. I don't think they give enough cheese in their nachos, so I always need more to dip. So
No, 100%. They never give you enough cheese. Love that so much. Thank you so much for your time. And then let them know, let any your fans, anyone that you want to know about your social medias, your website, let them know where they can find you.
well, yeah, you could find me on X. I'm on there a lot, especially if you want to hit me up on there and network at Jeffrey Lanier 4. You can find me there, and just look forward to what I do in the future.
We all do. We love creativity. We love the arts here, and we look forward to seeing everything that you're going to create. Thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure. This is Angela Zelensky hosting the red carpet event at the Indie Vegas Film Festival. We're here at the Galaxy Theater representing the Vegas Indie Film Festival here at the red carpet put on by the social media shows. And we have 3 guests coming in right now. Come on in, guys. I don't bite too hard, I promise. I was like, I'm quite friendly. Like, at least buy me a drink first. Hello, and welcome. So I'm going to go right down the line. Let's get some introductions.
Charles Black, I'm the director.
Hi, my name is Joseph Kyler. I play Jim.
I'm Feather McGuire. I was Melissa.
I have to say before I go any further, you all look fantastic. I love the outfits, and this is amazing that you're here with us. What does this mean to you being here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival?
This is actually my first time being at a film festival as a director.
Oh my gosh, congratulations!
Nervous and excited at the same time.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your project here without giving too much away. We don't want to spoil anything because we want them to watch it, but just a little bit about the background.
Quick little background. I wrote it about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just about an estranged couple that gets stranded out in the desert and something's kind of chasing them.
Okay, something.
Yeah, something. I know.
I was like, oh, this sounds like a thriller.
Yes.
So I have a question for you. What inspired the story for you?
I live in the desert about just outside of Las Vegas, and there's always weird stories about strange things in the desert, so I created one.
Oh, I actually love that. I'm a Vegas local myself, and there's always stuff that we're talking about. We're like, is there a monster out here? So great way to bring more monsters to Vegas.
Yes.
And then for you, I was like, you're acting in the film, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So are you the star?
We both are co-stars. Absolutely.
Gosh, oh, congratulations. So what made you grab and latch onto this story?
I got the script. This is my first project that I got to do locally. I have some other projects that came out this month that I'm super excited for, but I got to work locally with awesome people, and that was really what stood out to me. I was super excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Building the network. I love that. And for you?
This was my first time doing any of this. I was in theater in high school, and when it came up, I said, well, what the heck? And I was the only one that showed up for the audition, so I kind of got it by default. And but it was super exciting at the same time. I mean, yeah, it was.
That's amazing. That's amazing, you guys. I love that. And I love that it gets to expand on your craft as an actor as well. I mean, just being able to do theater and then expanding into film and television, like you're in now.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it couldn't have fit together better. So
So I have a question for you. Did you have any obstacles or anything like that? What were some of the challenges creating this movie?
One of the biggest was trying to get it done quickly, and the wind was not going to cooperate that night.
Oh yeah, the wind in Vegas is no joke.
Yes, it got cold, and the wind just blew constantly.
How is it for you guys as actors and talent?
my butt off. Sorry.
It was a lot of fun. You know, the wind was kicking up and it was giving this like dusty atmospheric thing, so it was adding to this
And then
vibe. Yeah.
over the moon,
Yeah.
it was just beautiful.
There was
It
some
really-
parts where I was like, we had to have CGI'd that, right?
Yeah.
It looked great. It looked great. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love when the weather actually works with you, even though I know you were probably suffering. I'm sure there were blood, sweat, and tears. And
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
was there a certain part or scene, even in the weather, that you just were struggling with? Like, what was some of the worst? Was it the wind? Was it the cold?
I think our director of still photography, Lisa, was the most worried about the cold. She was freezing. She was in this hoodie, tight, wrapped all the way up into a complete ball. But for me, it was definitely the wind because I kept having these moments of like, sorry, let me get this dust out of my mouth really quick. But
And
you
I
know,
was in a dress, and it was chilly, and I didn't know what I was doing. This is my first time doing any of this ever, so it was a little nerve wracking for that part. But yeah, it worked out.
You guys made it though. You guys made it. You got through it. That's so amazing. You have such a great team to stick with you through inclement weather. That's not easy as actors. I did want to ask you as actors yourselves, I was like, do either of you have any new upcoming projects that you're getting excited for or can hint at anything?
I just had a release on Galatea TV called Charlotte and Seven Frat Brothers. You can go check it out. If you have anything you want to plug.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just take it as it comes.
That's okay. That's very true. As for you, for the director, I was like, what about you? Do you have anything exciting coming up for you in the works?
Right now, for me, I am actually working on a pitch for a Western that has to be filmed in Arizona, and it has to be done by a Arizona director.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Real tight niche for a Western.
I love that though. It's like Arizona was like home of the Cowboys.
Yes.
Perfect. And so I have a question for you guys. So what draws each of you to this industry, to the film industry specifically? What drives you?
I was playing around on YouTube, and I wanted to expand what I was doing, so wanted to venture down filmmaking a little bit more.
I love that. And for you?
Filmmaking is the only thing I've ever loved. I've said this a lot of times in my life. The worst day on set is going to beat the best day doing anything else. So I've loved it since I was a kid. So
A true passionate artist. Oh my goodness.
It's very inspiring, honestly. I have never done anything like this except for theater, and I saw the casting call and said, "Well, why not? It's something new. I mean, if I failed, then at least I tried." So
You're on the red carpet, you're in a movie. I would say you're very far from failure. Is this something that you kind of see yourself pursuing and continuing to do?
I wrote a book, and so I might as well be in a movie too.
That's so exciting, you guys. I love everything about that. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Before we Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Like I want it.
Before we go, though, I want to make sure your fans can find you and anyone else that's looking to build their network. Where can we find you guys?
StillRainProductions.com.
Beautiful.
Best place to find me is probably Instagram, Joseph Kyler R at Instagram. Thank you very much.
I pretty much only have Facebook. I have Instagram as well, but my name is Feather, like a bird, McGuire, McGuire, and you can just find me there.
Beautiful. I love it so much. And you heard it here first. We're at the red carpet at the Film Festival here in Las Vegas. And then before we go, I have to ask everybody, because we are in a movie theater, we all have our snacks that we go to. What is your favorite go-to movie snack?
Popcorn with lots of butter.
Lots of butter. Love it.
Oh, cycle back to me. Cycle back to me. I got to think.
Nachos, jalapenos, yeah.
All right, time's up.
I've been really digging soft pretzels lately. Soft pretzels.
I do love a good soft pretzel. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. Thank you guys so much for your time. You guys are wonderful. Continue creating, and we're all inspired by you guys. Thank you so much. Let's get a photo together. Okay. Oh, thank you.
I'm Philip Sokolov, and I am one of the lead actors in this lady's film that she wrote, and she also starring in it. It's called Fritchie Manor.
How long was the process for you from start to finish wrapping?
I would say about 9 months.
Mr. Anderson, it's Miss Fritchie.
I haven't done anything wrong. Please, no.
When we were doing the set, it was very dark. So definitely dark colors gave it, the whole vibe, spooky, scary.
White meat is not really good for stew. But it makes a mean gumbo.
Go see Fritchie Manor.
And here we are back live at the Vegas Indie Film Fest. We're here in the city in the Cannery Casino waiting for our next wonderful interviewee. Come in, come in. Hello, I'm Genae. Nice to meet you.
Laura.
Laura, okay, so what brings you to the film festival today?
My film, On the Verge, is what brings me here. Yeah.
Tell us about your film, your project, your passion.
It is absolutely my passion. It's I'm the writer and the producer and the director and and I also edited it and put it all together. So yeah.
What was that process like, start to finish? Like, how long did it take? What was it like for you?
Well, I wrote it and then we filmed it a month afterwards. So it went really quickly. I showed it to a couple of friends and they were like, "Hey, Laura, I think, you could maybe make this into something." And then I just worked really hard and we did it. And then the post-production is what took a long time. It was just all of that stuff. And I'm not very good with all of the internet, this and that. And, I say I'm an editor, but, it's like I had to look at a lot of videos on the old YouTube to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Wow. So you self-taught, being able to manage all of. Wow. Okay. So what was that process like for you? I mean, just tell us everything. I found that the women in these spaces, maybe I'm a little biased, but the filmmakers, the creators, the creatives, I mean, they share multiple hats. And so being able to learn from amazing women like yourself, tell us all about it. We want to know everything.
Well, it's kind of like the vision that you want to put out there. You know what you're doing. So a lot of times you can learn so much just on the YouTube videos. You can teach yourself everything. I've taught myself everything. Yeah.
Amazing. So how long have you known that filmmaking is your passion?
Well, I think storytelling is my passion. I don't know if it's really filmmaking.
Yes. Okay. Well, tell us about what made it a sure decision that you wanted to create this film.
I had a friend that has schizophrenia that lived on the streets, and I became very, very good friends with him, and he just affected me a lot. And then one day, I just had this idea: what if everybody else had schizophrenia, but you didn't, and you were the one that was having the problem? And I kind of turned that into a story, and that's what became the short film.
All right. So, as you're bringing awareness more to this space, is there anything that you would hope the audience will be able to take in from your film?
Maybe a deeper understanding of what it's like to have that disease, maybe a deeper heart towards it, instead of like, just walking past somebody that has that and just being like, ooh, that person's crazy. Maybe just a deeper heart about it.
I love that. That's beautiful. Being able to experience that in a way and present it in a way where it can be consumed and taken in. Were there any surprising aspects of filming that you maybe weren't expecting in the beginning of your project time?
Wow. Well, the sound is really hard to work with. The sound, I didn't understand how difficult that was going to be.
Yeah.
That's yeah. There were all kinds of quirks with the sound, and but God, filming it was the best part. It was just the best part because I had a cast of people, and they all kind of showed up not knowing what's happening, and they all just came together, and it was really beautiful to see that.
Okay, so were there any points of filming that you maybe wish would have made the final cut that weren't able to?
No.
No, you got it all in. That's amazing. Okay, so tell us about that process of creating it from the production side and then being able to create the creative side, have it all come together.
I am really I'm I I get things done. I get things done. So I mean, I had everything filmed and everything, the whole story done, and then a friend came over and said, "You know what? Why don't you film this other part with it?" So actually, parts of it were filmed later. Yeah. When somebody came over and said, "Hey, let's add this." So parts of it are filmed after the whole filming.
Okay, wow. Were there any scenes that you feel made a bigger impact than maybe you were even originally anticipating in your film?
Yeah, absolutely. That scene that my friend came over and told me to do, I think it's a really beautiful, poignant scene, and yeah, something I didn't see. I didn't find it, and he found it for me, and I really appreciate it.
Wow. It sounds like you have amazing people who support your creative process.
Yeah, and it was important for me to show the film to them and get as much feedback as I could from all of my friends, because I went into it without a lot of money, just relationships and support of my friends. So I just drove my friends crazy and showed them.
But it sounds like you have amazing supportive friends that want to see your vision come to life. So the fact that you have that, that's huge. That's wonderful. Do you have any advice for people who maybe don't have that type of support system and they're trying to start out in this film space?
You know what? I felt like I didn't have any friends when I started making this film. I felt like I didn't have any friends. And I contacted people. I said, look, do you want to be in a film? And I made this film is about me having friends. It's like I asked people to be my friends and they came up and showed up and now they are my friends. So you will make friends by asking them to be your friend on a film.
I love it. The layering of human connection in the filming space, but also outside of it is so important. And I find that in these types of deeply beautiful, passionate projects, like there's so many emotions that come into it. There's so many different connections that might have started that might not have happened had you created this film. Did you have any experiences like that for yourself?
Definitely the friends that I've made from casting them in my film as my friends. That's a big deal.
I love that. Do you guys have any other fun plans in your time here at the festival?
This is our last night, so we'll see. Whatever happens, happens. Could be crazy.
It could be crazy. Vegas is known for, I mean, we try to keep it in Vegas, but technology and digital age kind of makes it a little difficult. But we're so glad you're here. Thank you for your contribution. Before we finish our interview, is there anything that you want to share with our audience back home that you want that maybe don't have the accessibility to come to the film festival? What kind of message do you have for them based off of your film?
Based off of my film, I think I've said it all in the interview. Just be more heartful towards people that are different from you and that have, you know, problems, psychological problems that are different from yours. We all have psychological problems.
True, it's true.
I can honestly feel your heart space and your intention within this project. It's really beautiful. Thank you for your ability to put this all together. I mean, that's so many different hats that you were juggling and balancing. And then there's like real life where you still have to manage to show up in. So thank you for your dedication, for your presence. Yes, absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your film festival experience. Do you mind if we get a picture with you before you head out? Thank you so much. Yep. All right. And here we are back at the Film Fest. We're connecting with people, and the stories that are being shared here are pivotal for human connection. We have another interviewee coming up. Come right in. Welcome. Hello. How are you today?
Good. Thank you very much for having me. Such an honor.
We love having you. Tell us, the audience, your first and last name and what you're doing here at the Film Fest.
Sapir Puri. I'm the actor in the feature action film sci-fi Drafted 2035. And I had the honorable role to be casted as the commander of the U.S. military. And the uniforms that actually were donated by the veterans to the production company. They actually were worn in Desert Storm. They had some blood on it, but don't worry, they was sanitized a little. Yeah, it was sanitized to the best they can. But it felt such an honor wearing it, and we filmed in Kingman, Arizona, to kind of portray like Afghanistan, you know. And when I wore that uniform in the desert, I was sweating, and I can't imagine like the actual troops out there that are actually wearing that all day, every day. You know what I mean? So my hats are off to them, and it's such an incredible film. We took many years actually writing and preparing for this film.
How many years in total was the start to like production to wrapping up filming?
It was like about 2019 we got everything together, and then still there was setbacks because we did it on such a low budget, you know, film. And it's hard to get the cast and everybody, and especially the special effects. We had to recreate military helicopters on animation prior to like AI, you know. So we were doing everything by hand, and it really came out great. And I really have to make a shout out to director, writer Ron Hansen, the producer Sydney. I mean, and just like everybody that was involved, it was such an incredible event, you know, especially when I went into future too. It was like we used a lot of green screen. So yeah, it's all it's like a lot of action packed scenes, you know.
As an actor, how did you find getting into character? What was that process like for you so for such a demanding role?
Okay. So I heard about this movie called Full Metal Jacket. And I realized they don't really make movies like that anymore. It was such a masculine movie, you know what I mean? And they actually casted a someone who actually served, you know. So when I looked at his character, I'm like, this is the type of guy I want to you know, relive, you know. And it really helped me out, you know. Just watching that movie, you know. You learn from others as well, you know.
Were there any musical inspirations in your character building for this film?
You know what? I do produce music, but we had a rock star in the movie, and he's actually one of the lead actors. Because I'm actually like after him because I'm the commander, and he's in all sorts of trouble, you know. And he's a wonderful singer, Jack Swagger. Hey, I love you, man. You have done such an incredible job, and we both actually are planning on producing a sequel, and we're gonna be well. The original Drafted we filmed in 4 different states: L.A., Las Vegas, Arizona, Chicago, and actually flown straight from Chicago just for to attend this event. And it's such an honor to be here. And
We're happy to have you, and you're clearly so passionate about the work that you do. Were there any kind of surprises that you maybe weren't expecting at the start of this process, and how did you work through those?
yes, a lot of setbacks, especially the V2711. It looked like the Cybertruck, and we designed it prior to the Cybertruck coming out because it has that triangular design. And I remember it breaking down in like the middle of like the highway, and it was like all such as like setbacks, and you know, but we managed to pull through to get this together. and we never lost faith, and I have to thank the big guy upstairs. Without him, I would be nothing,
So passionate, so driven. How long did the entire process take for your kind of like world building and like all of
I flew back maybe like 3, 4 times from Chicago back and forth just for this film because there were parts where they're like, wait a minute, we might have to re-edit and you need to fly back because it's on a green screen. And there's some things that we can't fix by yourself.
Right.
So that was like the biggest challenge was taking off work and then coming back here. But this has always been my dream, you know, to aspire. I've always been an aspired actor, and Mhm.
So how long have you had this dream?
Since I saw Titanic, Leonardo, and he's always getting the ladies, but I'm not like him though. But I like his acting style, and when I saw Titanic, I was just like, this is such an incredible cinematic movie, you know what I mean? And I like the classy role that he plays, he could play all sorts of personalities that he has, you know.
World building is elite, literally. And so, was there anything that you maybe shot that didn't make final cut that you wish did?
Oh, yes. You are such a great interviewer. You know what? It was the part where I was in the like command center, and I was meeting with the general of the United States in the movie, and the problem was we used a green screen instead of a blue screen because I'm wearing a green uniform, a military uniform. So we didn't really look at that till after I flew back to Chicago, and they're like, we're gonna have to cut that out, And I felt like that if we put that in, it would make me shine a little bit more. But when I looked at the final product, I was impressed,
So you have seen the final product start to finish?
It actually played yesterday, and it was at like 5.1 Dolby sound. I mean, it was for our first feature film. It was amazing, and especially doing a low budget action film. It's I felt like Ron Hansen did an impressive job.
So are there any sequels in the future that we can be looking forward to?
Yes, yes. So it is called. I'm not sure if I should say it, but we'll say it this time. Drafted 2035 Part 2, The Takeover. So it's called The Takeover. And I did actually receive the script and I did read it. I can't tell you
All right, we'll keep it on the
it is going to be just as suspenseful as the first one. I can assure you that. Yes.
Do you have any other future plans of other film festivals that we're wanting to be a part of?
Yes. I mean, I actually wrote a comedy script myself. It's about it's good amount of pages, I think I could turn it into a feature film. I love that you brought that up actually because it's about an all-star player who wins like a $74 million contract, and he makes like the Olympic style wrestling almost as famous and popular as like the NFL or basketball because wrestling is not really popular sport. And I previously wrestled on a national and state championship team. So that's kind of what helped me actually get this role. It's like working out, and they wanted someone masculine for the role. So Ron Hansen did another excellent job right there. Yeah.
Were there any other elements that might in your background that might have helped you prepare better for this role?
Well, you know what? It all started with music, and I realized when I was playing live before, you have to practice. You have to dress nice. You have to be creative, and I mean, it helped me with stage fright. I was always a little shy. I was a little bit shy, but when I would play the grand piano for like these art galleries, people would come up, and that's what actually helped me learn how to network with people. And if you're not networking, you're not working, you know? Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It, and with music, I gotta really thank one person. It's the person who really, when I was about like in middle school, there was one person who believed in me where a lot of people didn't believe in me. He always told me, "Hey, I believe that you could play music." So I started taking piano lessons, and I finally was able to perform in front of him. But the next following week, he passed away, and ever since that, I know that someone believed in me. I've always dedicated myself to the fine arts, and from one branch to another branch, I went to acting and music, and I still do music. I have a YouTube channel. And I've actually posted some new music recently. I've started with classical, hip hop, rock, club music, dance music, like
All the genres. That's really exciting.
so I could put it in my films without, copyright infringements, using other people's stuff, and
That's a useful skill to have in this space. So we're super happy to have you here. Is there anything else that you're looking forward to here at the festival?
oh, I just want to meet other actors. Hopefully, I can, I could publish them in my magazine as well because I am the brand ambassador and photojournalist at Red Silk Carpet Magazine, and that's based in Chicago, Gold Coast, and also in Michigan. We've had some iconic people on the cover like Tom Cruise, Julia Roberts, Leonardo DiCaprio. And I originally made the cover for my music and acting for Drafted 2035 because when they saw the trailer, they're like, you know what, we're pretty impressed. So I made the cover, and now I actually represent them. And you look like red silk carpet material. You look like you belong in our magazine. In fact, because we're also sponsored by Dior, fashion and all that.
You're busy. You're going. You're hitting every
thing
creative
about me,
round.
I'm also an auctioneer, so I was always able to, talk fast, sell quick, and it actually helped me build the character for the commander because, auctioneers, they all have that southern accent and
So, based off of your character, were there any elements of your character that you were able to take away for your own personal life? I know oftentimes as creatives, we try to kind of do the opposite, but was there anything that you gathered from him that you might not have had previously to getting into his perspective?
um it has to be it's a good question. You're really, really good at questions. Um it would have to be really just wearing that you like honestly. And you know what? Because when I was running in the desert, I was running like it was like track or something. And I wasn't used to like holding like a gun in my hand and running in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? And and the biggest challenge of that was because we're incorporating the bullets as CGI, and I have to kind of maneuver myself as like where these bullets are coming from, you know what I mean, to make it look good so that when they're post editing and they could actually make it look realistic as possible, so we had amazing CGI artists helping with us. Without them, we became drafted 2035 became a family. And ever since, I don't think we're ever gonna leave each other.
Well, that's beautiful. So, did you do your own stunts wholeheartedly in this space?
Sort of, yeah. The only really big stunt I did was when I was jumping off this ledge because there was we were getting attacked by like missiles and all this stuff. And yeah, yeah. So I basically like jumped maybe like what 5 feet, 6 feet, but with a gun on my hand and trying to look as impressive and credible as possible without dropping it. And yeah, so it was definitely a huge challenge. Yeah.
We're glad you met it, and we're super excited to hear more of the feedback as we enter more of the awards space. But thank you for your time. We are very grateful. Yeah, absolutely.
Are an incredible interview.
No, thank you.
I
You're
am so
too
privileged.
kind.
So privileged to be here.
Thank you for
And you
being
made it
here.
so welcoming.
Oh,
Heartwarming.
we love
Thank
to
you.
hear it. That's how we like to
Thank
do
you
it
so
in
much.
Vegas. Yeah, we're actually gonna get a photo
Oh my
now.
God, thank you. Yes.
Mhm. And here we are again. We have another. Are you comfortable here? Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So here we are. Tell us, first of all, start with your name.
Jeff Schubert.
Jeff Schubert. Okay, Jeff Schubert, what are you doing here at the Vegas Film Fest?
I am the writer, director, and actor for a short film called Like, Comment, and Share.
Will you tell us more about your project?
Sure, it's a dark comedy about a guy who doesn't feel very good about how his friends are responding to him on social media, so he kidnaps them and kind of tortures them a little bit, and we'll see how it ends.
Hey, Yeah, I'm intrigued greatly. Were there any specific scenarios that inspired the story? How did it come to you?
Well, sure. Ironically, I was prepping to do another short, and a couple of my actors were a little flaky on me. So while I was waiting on them, I wrote out like, comment, and share. I got the idea for it. And basically, what it is I take like little like pet peeves and I exaggerate the hell out of them. Right. Like maybe we all have them. And I have a background as a social worker. And as a social worker, right, you're trying to talk people off the ledge, right? You're trying to, no, you're paranoid here, or don't look at that distortion there. Here with the character, with the main character, I'm enhancing his distortions, right? In terms of the writing of it. I'm really exaggerating it. I'm making it comedic with these four different characters that I kidnap. So, hopefully people can relate and get something out of it.
So comedy is always like a fascinating genre because there's so many different spaces of hitting that. Were there specific challenges that you might not have been anticipating at the beginning of your fruition for this project?
Well, really, and I say like about 80 to 90% of directing is in your preparation, right? Prepping with the actors, prepping with the crew, right? So as the director, so with the actors, it's just going through the script, breaking it down. I mean, the actors were awesome. When you're looking at audition tapes from actors, and when the actors that don't get it, you're like, oh wow, my writing stinks, my writing stinks, my writing stinks. And then when an actor does a good audition, you're like, yes, that's what I mean. They get it from the breakdown. So coming in, these guys all got it. We go through the script, we break down. Timing is very important, as you probably know in comedy, right? So we want to break down the script, we want to make sure we understand it, and we want to get those beats right.
Right. So is this your first film festival?
No, no, so this film was played at Silicon Beach Film Festival in Hollywood at the TCL there. I was fortunate enough to win Best Actor in a short film.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the festival. And it's played at a few others. We're kind of in the middle of our festival run with this, and I've had other films in the past at festivals. Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything that stood out from this festival that you might not have seen at other ones?
Wait, are you talking about this one here?
Yes, sir.
I literally just got here.
Okay, you're fresh in.
I went
Okay.
from LA for it, and did some things. And I just got here a few minutes ago, and they pointed out this wonderful situation to do an interview. So I got online.
Was there anything in the creative process that you were able to take out from your experience in creating this film? Like any elements, themes, even just like lessons learned?
So, well, you always have to be adaptive, right? So it's, you're dealing with lots of personalities. And as a director, your job is to put everyone in a position to succeed, right? So, I come to it, I wrote the script, it's my baby, but then I bring in these other creatives and have to be flexible and willing to let go and adaptable and so forth. And how can we kind of meet to where everyone kind of is getting something out of it?
Yeah, no, that's so true. Is there any advice that you'd give for people who are maybe considering creating their film? Anything that you found really beneficial in your journey?
Well, one, never underestimate the importance of the script, right? It starts with that. And I know we were talking off camera, and you have hosting experience, and I have hosting experience as well. And I've interviewed a lot of people in the business, and the script, the script, the script. It starts with that. So make sure if you can't afford professional feedback, get that script out there to a bunch of people who you trust. See if you get feedback that's similar from a group of people that maybe if one person said it, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. But if five people separately give you the same kind of feedback on something you were stuck on, maybe you revisit it. Do not underestimate the importance of certain crew positions like script supervisor. Continuity gods. My script supervisor was I mean, the whole crew was, but yeah, we know about sound, right? Audience will forgive a little bit of picture before they will forgive not being able to hear and understand. So you can't underestimate anything. It's like the wardrobe, that's a character in your film. The location. So even if you have budgetary limitations, do the best of what you can, within each space. And don't just say, oh, I don't have money for it, I can't do it. You can research. There's things you can do and learn and maximize. And if you're writing a comedy script and you're rewriting, I'll go back to the script for a second. I'm always looking, where can I add another beat? Where can I add another joke? How can I, tighten, make better? Or if it's not a joke, or a point of something. In the end credits of this film, I perform a rap to the end credits, and I put up some images to it. So it's like, yeah, even the credits. What's an opportunity to, what's an opportunity to entertain, and keep it going. And the rap also reinforces the point of the short, so it's really cool.
God, I love that. So speaking of sound, how did you influence like music elements to tell your story and move it further along?
Well, you bring up a great point. So when I was talking about sound, I was talking about like, audio and being able to hear dialogue, but yeah, scoring sound, super important. I mean, going back years ago, the first film I ever made, the feature, when we had picture lock, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. I got together with the score guy, and I would give him like little hints of cues or something, and he would create music. I'm like, I felt like that saved them. Oh, now it's funny. It really punches it along. Now, again, it's so much easier to make a low budget film than it was, when I first started, because there's all these stock footage, sites you can go to. And I got a good amount of the music cues from that. And it really helped. It's not that expensive if you can't afford to pay a composer, and you can explore that. Yeah, definitely look through some of those websites where you can go through it. And I would listen to hundreds of things, and I would find the perfect thing, for different beats to either add to the scare because this is a dark comedy, or add to the humor, to punch it up. And it does so much, adds so much. Yeah.
I thoroughly agree. As somebody who like I will listen to the sound scores for movies and like in my free time, I find joy in it. The world building, it adds such a rich layer to the storytelling. Speaking of storytelling, world building, yeah, absolutely. And so, was there anything that you want your audience to be able to take away from your art that you're being presented or that's being presented here?
Sure. Yeah. I have a tendency of doing dark comedies with a message or a point. So this is about, not letting social media overrun your life. Don't put too much importance into it. Um, yeah.
How do you find that balance?
And also be nice on social media.
That's true. The trolls could be a little crazy for no reason. You're like, okay, hey.
Anyone out there, if you do wind up seeing the movie, yeah, see if you know these archetypes of these different characters I have in it. The four that are kidnapped, and any crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs person like myself.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for being here. We're super excited to see what comes up next. Is there a sequel in the future for this project?
Not necessarily a sequel, but a next project that I have since produced and released after Like, Comment, and Share is a comedy rap video called "I'm the Quarterback." And in it, I'm like this cosplay character talking about how quarterbacks make the money and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like a satire cosplay deal about, our quarterbacks overpaid at the expense of some of the other players. And it's kind of getting a little viral action going on YouTube because it's already up there. It's doing really good.
So, for especially beginning filmmakers, do you have any advice on how to kind of like balance out the noise of social media? I mean, this is a project specifically built around that. So, is there any advice that you'd give for people who are like coming to it, like how to filter it out, or what are some steps that you take to kind of like continue the momentum?
Well, social media is a necessary evil for artists, in terms of marketing and promoting yourself and getting your stuff out there. Look, the big studios, they have their big budgets, right, to promote, and they don't make they'll spend more on the marketing than they will on the physical on the movie themselves, right? So unfortunately, for musicians and artists, it's helpful to build your following and your network to help little projects like these, go viral and so forth. But in terms of, whether you're a filmmaker or in any aspect of life, it applies in terms of, don't let your self-esteem rest within social media. you know right. It can be a compliment to your life and your day, but it shouldn't be something that you're consumed with, right? And it certainly shouldn't dictate your art. That's got to come from your passion. That's going to come from, writing 101. Write what write what you're passionate about, and try to bring together a collective of people that can help you build your world, right? You're a world builder, right? Yeah, yeah, that's right. Mhm.
To really take so many of these themes out of real life and have it applicable in this market. I mean, that's huge. So thank you for your passion, your time. How have you been able to kind of like protect your passion? Because I mean, with life, it can get crazy. Like, how do you maintain that?
I mean, like I said, I was in social work for over 10 years. And when the pandemic hit, we were really short staffed. I was considered a frontline worker. I was working at an inpatient facility. And probably the last couple of years I was there, I was putting in about 60 hours a week as we were short staffed and it was needed. So I left that job in September to give myself more time for the arts for now, or take a year or two to, to push. Not getting any younger. And, so I'm like, if not now, when kind of thing. So on all fronts.
And that's so true. Being able to connect with your passion and honestly still be able to balance life. I mean, that's a massive part of what we do as storytellers and creators. And so your ability to be devoted to that is so impressive. I'm impacted and I'm excited for the audience that's going to take you in and see what your creation is and get some good stuff.
Awesome. And, for every artist, that might look different, how they balance it out, right? So don't feel like you have to compete with other people, right? Do you, find what works for you. And it's okay if what works for you today changes in a year as well, too. You're not committing, the rest. New information, new situations, you're allowed to change, right? So, so find what works for you.
Thank you so much for your advice, for your time. We look forward to seeing your journey here at the Vegas Film Festival. Is there anything that you're looking forward to even like later tonight, awards, something that's really sticking out?
Oh, I mean, I just got here, so I am looking forward to seeing some of the other, works. Yeah, I always, when I'm in a festival, it ain't just about me. I like to support and see the other filmmakers, and I get excited to meet the other filmmakers. Yeah.
We're happy to have you here and just being able to, of course. Thank you for doing the work to allow us.
Just today, but talking to you off camera, you inspired.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Now.
Yes, no, be in the moment. And I feel like just your story in general teaches that. Just being able to, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to focus. Like, you never know what life can bring. And you're creating a life. You're creating stories that allows connection and building and expansion. So I congratulate you on that. I mean, that takes so much courage and depth to be able to like trust in yourself. Hey, this is what I want to do. And you did it. So high five. Well done. I love that for you.
To you and your team.
Yes, thank you. We're happy to be here. Thank you for your work. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time. Do you mind if we get a picture?
Of course.
Perfect. All right, guys, here we are connecting at the Vegas Film Fest here in the Cannery Casino. We are going to go on a quick break, and don't worry, we'll be right back.
I'm Commander Todd Siskey. Just about 2 years ago, I began making films. It was just sort of a one-off project for me. It's a TV series. It's a TV show called Cheeched and Handy. If you imagine like Martha Stewart and MacGyver mating with a gummy groove, it's sort of like a DIY show, right? With flair. So I make boutique guitar amplifiers out of stuff that I find at the thrift stores, at the garbage, and the curb or wherever. Check out the website, cheechedandhandy.com. And there you can link to the episode 1 and stream all 7 episodes to check out. And that's about it, and keep watching and support indie films.
Ms. Bonilla, executive producer, De La Cruz.
So I'm the writer, director, editor, producer of De La Cruz.
The lead actress, Sofia Diaz, who's very popular in Mexico. So
Yes.
she's been in The Manny. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, The Manny.
Age of Violence
Yeah,
is
Age of
another one
Violence.
she's been in. She's
That's true.
awesome.
On altercation with Yolanda de la Cruz. She showed up at the prison today.
Y quisiera denunciar un intento de violación. This isn't right. He cannot get away with this. He just can't. I want to kill him.
I think it's time I finally introduce you to my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
We shot with 2 cameras on red cameras. We had a full crew. Every department was fully stocked. We had two camera teams running at the same time. In some scenes, we had 3 cameras as well. But yeah, it's for the scale of it, for what it looks like.
It's amazing.
It's a miracle that we pulled it off for the budget that we did.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything is amazing.
Yeah. Whole training, hardcore training montages.
Gira. Eso.
There's so many moments. I think just like the big fight, because we're building towards the end. The whole movie is really centered on her getting revenge. And then before she seeks revenge, her trainer gives her one little test, and he puts her in the ring, and she's completely taken by surprise. She had no idea she was going to go into a fight. To shoot like a big full-out fight scene with extras and cheering, and the girl's arm gets broken, and it's pretty amazing.
Yoli.
It's very female empowering.
Remember me?
I just want to encourage filmmakers to do what I do and to stop waiting. I had been wanting to make this story for years and kept procrastinating and putting it off, out of fear and not having the resources and the money. And finally, I just made a decision. I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I got to shoot on my iPhone. I'm going to go to Mexico and shoot it. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step.
For joining us here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival here at Galaxy Theater at the Cannery Casino. It has been such a pleasure to bring you these unforgettable moments, experiences, and interviews with some of the best people in the business. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And being able to connect with the storytellers, seeing the passion, seeing the grit that it took to get these projects up and running and then presented at the festival has been wonderful. Wonderful time with you. Wonderful time with the crew. We love it. Thank you for being here with us. There's a lot more coming your way. Don't worry.
Yes, we are excited. And honestly, it's been a pleasure to have my co-host Genae here with me. She's beautiful, she's gorgeous, and she's helped bring all these stories together with myself, Angela. And stay tuned for more, you guys, because it's just going to keep on coming throughout the entire night. We have a new host, Maria. She's going to be coming on, and she's going to be bringing you more unforgettable experiences, memories, and stories. Thank you so much to Social Media Shows for having us. And thank you so much to Rise Talent Management for sponsoring. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
My name is Ron Hansen.
And I'm Cindy Hansen.
Producer, directors, and
the writers for Drafted 2035. Centers around the general that tries to take over the world in a new world order and his son coming to reclaim it back.
I had the honorable role to be casted as the commander of the U.S. military.
This is a combat scenario. Any disobey order from the commanding officers is treason.
We're incorporating the bullets as CGI, and I have to kind of maneuver myself as like where these bullets are coming from. The uniforms that actually were donated by the veterans to the production company, they actually were worn in Desert Storm.
Well, how about I take y'all through Combat Torture 101.
And it's such an incredible film. We took many years actually writing and preparing for this film. We had to recreate military helicopters on animation prior to like AI, We filmed in 4 different states. LA, Las Vegas, Arizona, Chicago. First feature film, it was amazing.
back here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival by social media shows. We are live broadcasting on socialmediashows.com, and I would like to thank my two hosts earlier, Genae Anderson and Angela Zelensky. I shouldn't be forgetting that name. But anyways, and also I would like to thank Rice Talent LLC for sponsoring this event or this red carpet event. And we interviewed so many people from yesterday and today. Today is Saturday, the second day of the Indie Vegas Film Festival. And so excited to see more of our filmmakers, directors, actors, singers, you name it all. They are all in here. This is the capital entertainment of the world, Las Vegas. So they all come here. But anyways, guys, we're gonna start with our first interview today with me. So come on down. Good. How are you?
I'm great. My name is Vance Mellon.
Vance Millen. It sounds like a big actor.
Oh, yeah.
Are you an actor, producer, director?
A little bit of everything. For this particular short film, I wrote it when I was like 10 years old, which is kind of weird. And then I made it and I shot it, acted in it, put all my family members in it, whether they wanted to or not, and turned the living room into a green screen, which was kind of cool. And just did a little bit of everything, whatever needed to be done to put it together, edited it, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of special effects, after effects, stuff like that.
Wow, congratulations.
It's been fun.
Yeah, so you created this when you were 10-year old.
I wrote the story when I was like 10 years old. I don't know exactly why.
And now 16, now you're putting it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had a class that I was teaching at Nevada State University. I had a bunch of cool students, and we needed to do something that was sort of self-contained, that was not like, I didn't have a lot of locations. And we had a nice little black room, and I thought, I could probably do something in there. So I went back to this old story, kind of resuscitated it, added a lot, took a lot out, and then we shot it in that little black room. It was pretty cool. We had pretty good lights, pretty good camera, stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. Big project.
That's wonderful. So you are from Las Vegas.
Yeah, local. Yep.
Well, just letting you know, I have a TV studio here in Vegas. You can come and shoot it out there,
That would be so much better than my living room. Yeah, I almost got divorced over it because it was tough. I turned a whole bunch of sofas over and made a pit and put green cloth all over it so I could throw my wife into this hole. As you'll see if you watch the film, it's Friday at 7:30, or no, tomorrow 7:30, Saturday at 7:30 in the 13 Theater 13, I guess. So yeah, I'm excited. They have a bunch of family members and friends come. So it'll be good to see it on the big screen. That's one thing I like about this festival is they have just beautiful screens and great sound. It's pretty cool to do it in an actual movie theater like this. Very nice.
So you've been working on this project since you're 10.
In some ways, yeah, in some ways. I mean, I'm always sort of a storyteller in life anyway. I love to tell stories. I've been telling scary stories forever, and sometimes I do it live at like competitions and things like that. So it's kind of something that's always been a part of me. And then I just thought, well, let's just make this one right and put a little work into it, make it a nice story, beginning, middle, and end, all that good stuff.
So you are a professor or teacher?
I've been teaching forever. Yeah, I love teaching college. I love teaching teach at UNLV sometimes. Lately I've been teaching a lot at Nevada State, which are both great schools. If anybody wants to know more about them, I'd be happy to talk about them. Tell them some tips on it. There's a great film program at UNLV in particular. It's pretty big. But Nevada State has more newer equipment in some weird ways, even though it's smaller. So both schools are great.
So you're a teacher now, but you've been thinking about this movie idea since 10-year old. So I would assume it's been a dream. Being a filmmaker is being a dream since childhood.
Yeah, actually, it really has been. Ever since I was a little kid, I would do like glass paintings, and I would have like spaceships on them, and I'd have like one film I had a little melted head that I made out of paper mache and put a bunch of wax on it, and I think that was one of my first horror movies. I stuck that in a microwave and slowly zoomed in. And as I was a little kid, so it was really creepy. And I just chanted, "Put my little sister in the microwave, in the microwave," and that was my first film. So I like scary movies. I always have. They're just my favorite. I don't know. I don't know why I like them so much, but I guess it's just, you know, those horrible things that happen to you when you're a kid. That's how you deal with it with your instead of paying a lot of money to a psychiatrist, you can make your movies, kind of deal with anything that you worry about.
So, why did it take you so long? Why now?
Well, that that movie, the story, I just kind of I wrote it and it was just in a pile of a bunch of stories. And I hadn't really, necessarily wanted to make that, but I love the idea of like Quentin Tarantino was really good in Reservoir Dogs of having very few locations. I think maybe there's like the cafe, there's the little room where they do all the chopping up of the policeman, and there's about three or four locations, couple exteriors, but not very many. So I like that idea of kind of working within constraints and having some limits put on me. Otherwise, I think I would just get too ADHD and do too many things. But when I had like this idea of I had to have one space to make a movie, and I thought, well, I'll just do Spuds, that story I wrote when I was a kid. I think when I was a kid, I could not conceive of shooting a movie that's supposed to be in the dark because I was like, well, I won't be able to see anything because there wouldn't be any lights down in this hole. This guy falls into a hole of potatoes, is like a potato pit. And as a kid, I couldn't figure that out. So as I went to film school and learned more, I realized, yeah, you could still light it. You could still tell the story. So you just kind of
The new
try and learn as you go.
the new technology now is you can do light up without
Exactly. Yeah, and it's also just opening your mind creatively and saying, well, even though it's supposed to be pitch black, like there's movies where people are buried in coffins, there wouldn't obviously be any light in there. But, you have to take some creative liberties to be able to tell your story, right? So, yeah.
so this is your first movie.
I've made a bunch of movies. I've got way too many on YouTube. It's like Vance Mellon, Mellen. If people look that up, I've got tons of horror shorts in there. I've got tons of live storytelling where I tell pretty freaky stories, some good, some scary stories. But yeah, I've been making movies forever, but I like the idea now of having zero budget and having a lot of control. I'm sort of control freak that way, and I love anything to do with AI right now. I'm very interested in AI. I like AI.
Did you ever tried one?
Try which one? Yeah, this movie has a little in it, but I'm trying to be strict in taking my images and doing things with them, as opposed to creating something, as they say in Greek, ex nihilo, out of the head of God. You don't want to just create something in AI that's not rooted in my work, if that makes sense. So I start with my pictures, I start with footage, even if I shot it like 10, 20 years ago. A lot of the footage I used in this movie was really old footage that I shot on film.
You didn't shot it like reshot them?
No, no, I took the footage and I played with it in After Effects, and some of them were like really old JPEGs from when I was like in grad school years ago, and I just took it into AI and went like this, and all of a sudden I had a giant 4K still photo that I could manipulate in After Effects. So to me, that was sort of a fun aspect of this. Is I didn't want to stray too far from my look
Right.
or my like I even made the music using AI because I didn't.
So when did you film this?
I did it mostly probably about 6 or 8 months ago. I shot most of it and then edited it
They,
for a
they're not.
long
They're not.
time.
Yeah, they're not old. They're brand new ones.
Exactly, but a lot of the footage and everything is old, and the music. All I did for the music is I just sang a song. I da 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 da. I sang a song, stuck it in
So are you
a
a singer?
whole bunch of stuff.
So do you sing?
Not really, but you got to do what you got to do to tell your story. I think I'm on pitch, but I don't really. Yeah, I'm not much of a singer.
So what do you think about? So this is the first time you are entering your movie. This is the first time at
This is one
Indie.
of the first. Yeah, I've had it in a bunch of kind of smaller festivals. This one's pretty cool with the big theaters, but Yeah, I've had it in a bunch of small ones. Like even last week, they had C47 Film Festival here in Vegas, little tiny festival, and it was fun. So I've got it sprinkled in a few, but this is kind of the one that's kind of the first big one that I've had it in yet.
So what do you think? Are you? What is the future of your movie? What's a movie title?
Say that again. What was
What's your title of the movie?
It's called Spuds Like Potatoes.
Spuds.
SPUDS. Because the old guy falls into a pit. He can't get out. He's down there with rotten potatoes. He eats roaches and he eats anything he can to survive. He can't get out. His wife is down there tormenting him, telling him what an idiot he is, telling him he's senile.
So your wife and your kids are
My
involved.
wife and all my kids are in it.
All your wife. How many wives do you have?
All my wives. Good point. Just one. I am a Mormon, but I don't have that many wives. No, no. But yeah, I'm a weird Mormon because I like the scary stuff too, which is very strange, right? So yeah, that's kind of how we did it. We just all worked
So
together.
what is your main goal for this movie?
Well, I would say for this movie, it was more to get used to AI, to get used to a new camera that we got at the college. So I've used it as a way to learn, but I'm also using it as a way to hopefully drive more traffic to the YouTube channel is always awesome because I really love YouTube ultimately because it's so
So
easy to get your stuff out, you know.
so is it proper to call you a YouTuber instead of a filmmaker?
I think that I'm both because I've been doing it so long and I've had done like 3 features. One had a good budget, the others were like zero budget. So I've done a lot. I'm almost a writer first and a storyteller first. And then all the other stuff kind of comes from that, I think.
So which one would you prefer? Do you prefer to be an actor, a producer, a cinematographer,
Yeah, that's
or
I mean, I love them all. I think my favorite is the writer because if I can see it in my head and I have like a sleepless night where I can't sleep, you know, and all I do is see my movies beginning, middle, and end. If I don't see it clearly, it's like mud and I can't write it. So then the next day I'll get up and I'll just write what I saw. And to me, that's the beauty of writing it. And the only bad thing about that is the movie's pretty much done. I've already seen it. It's perfect in my head. And then I have to be like, okay, I got to do the real work now and take that template and put the pieces into it now and actually
you're the
get into it.
editor as well? So you're
Yeah.
jack of all trades.
Well, kind of. And I like that idea of being able to do everything. Because there's sometimes you need to make money as a writer, sometimes you need to make money as an editor. A lot of times I'm doing After Effects for different people and corporate animations or whatever. So you just do it or teaching, you know. So the main thing is I want to make art. I want to get my stories out. And to me, that's the main thing is telling the stories and getting them out. However, I have to get them out. Like I've got a novel I've written, so that'll be weird to see what happens with that in the next year. It's a big, long, thick novel about the end of the world. So
Well, good luck with that.
yeah, I'm
And
excited.
tell us again where they can find your movie.
Yeah, look on my production company's called Melonhead, Mellen Head, like Melonhead Productions. So I do have a website, Vance, VANCE. Melon is MELLEN, like I said. So Vance Melon can be found on YouTube. I have a portfolio on Adobe My Portfolio that has all my movies and all my illustrations and photographs and art, everything. So yeah, it's pretty easy to find me out there.
Thank you so much, Vance.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you
all the
so
fun
much.
questions.
Thank you so much, viewers, for watching us here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival. Let's take a picture.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Oh my God. He is from Las Vegas and his movie is out on his YouTube. And go ahead and check it out. Support our people here, our filmmakers here in Las Vegas. So, anyways, guys, we will be right back after this break. Don't go away.
Drop that Jesse remix one time.
What we do is we work with models, actors, and influencers to get them, help them, support them, and get real opportunities in Las Vegas.
Being able to be in this space with creatives and people that I love has been life-changing all over again.
I love Rise. Rise has changed my life, and it lets you know that it's never too late. Age doesn't make a difference.
They not like us. They not like us.
The door felt very welcoming and everybody's been so nice.
Rise Talent has been amazing for me. It's let me travel the world, be able to walk in New York, LA, and all over the place in America. So I've had a great time.
Music and I walk past the ox. 1, 2, 3. Buckle up. They not like us. They not like us. They not like
My life, Rise Talent changed my life. I've been a long time client here, and Dawn has just
go. How many stocks do I really have in stock? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I've just the short time I've been here, it's been so inclusive.
Rise has been completely beneficial to my life.
They're a family. Every time you go there, you feel like you build more your confidence.
They not like us. They not like us.
Ms. Bonilla, executive producer, De La Cruz.
So I'm the writer, director, editor, producer of De La Cruz.
The lead actress, Sofia Diaz, who's very popular in Mexico. So
Yes.
she's been in The Manny. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
It's called The Manny.
Age of Violence
Yeah,
is
Age of
another one she's
Violence.
been in. She's
That's true.
awesome.
On altercation with Yolanda de la Cruz. She showed up at the prison today.
Y quisiera denunciar un intento de violación. This isn't right. He cannot get away with this. He just can't. I want to kill him.
I think it's time I finally introduce you to my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
We shot with 2 cameras on red cameras. We had a full crew. Every department was fully stocked. We had two camera teams running at the same time. In some scenes, we had 3 cameras as well. But yeah, it's for the scale of it, for what it looks like.
It's amazing.
It's a miracle that we pulled it off for the budget that we did.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything is amazing.
Yeah. Whole training, hardcore training montages.
Gira. Eso.
There's so many moments. I think just like the big fight, because we're building towards the end. The whole movie is really centered on her getting revenge. And then before she seeks revenge, her trainer gives her one little test, and he puts her in the ring, and she's completely taken by surprise. She had no idea she was going to go into a fight. To shoot like a big full-out fight scene with extras and cheering, and the girl's arm gets broken, and it's pretty amazing.
Yoli.
Like a wolf.
It's very female empowering.
Remember me?
I just want to encourage filmmakers to do what I do and to stop waiting. I had been wanting to make this story for years and kept procrastinating and putting it off, out of fear and not having the resources and the money. And finally, I just made a decision. I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I got to shoot on my iPhone. I'm going to go to Mexico and shoot it. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step.
Welcome back here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival, brought to you by social media shows. Go ahead at socialmediashows.com and watch us live broadcast for 4 days. It started yesterday until Sunday. So anyways, guys, we've been interviewing a lot of people here. Today we had Genae Anderson and Angela Zelensky as our red carpet host earlier, and now I'm taking over. So let's call the first interviewee. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Jeray Reed.
Jeray Reed.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm an actor.
You're an actor. Do you have a movie that is in indie right now, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The Junkie Warrior, which is screening at 7:30, Block AA.
I believe this is a martial arts or something MMA movie. Is it?
No, it's more military-based, drug-based.
Oh, so give us a synopsis. Don't give us too much, okay? Yeah,
Of course not.
the synopsis. Give us a little bit back.
Um, as a soldier that goes AWOL, comes back to see his girlfriend, has a little bumps along the way, a little recurrence to the past, and yeah, you just have to wait and see the rest for the to the ending.
So is this a featured film or it is a short?
It is a feature film.
Wonderful. So where did you film this?
We filmed everything actually post COVID here in Las Vegas.
So you guys are from Las Vegas with your director, producer.
We are all from Las Vegas.
So shout out to what's the name?
K Rock and Roll Brown.
Rock and Roll Brown is the director of this. Say that title of the movie again.
The Junkie Warrior.
The Junkie Warrior. So you are the main actor, am I correct?
I am the lead.
You're the lead actor. So you've been acting for how long?
Right now I've been acting for probably about seven years, coming up on 7 years.
What other movies did you made?
Well, I've got a new one this recently. We just started filming a series of it. It's Animal Justice. Animal Justice should be out now on Tubi and a couple of other streaming platforms. Animal Justice 2, we just started filming that early this year, and we're going to filming that up at the end of the year. I've got a couple of other projects that are coming out on Netflix.
Who is the director of Animal Justice?
It's going to be Danny Tesla.
What I meant is he's not the one, right?
No. These are other projects and other films.
Take off that. Animal Justice, by the way, is my business partner is part of it. Shout out to Jeremy Settles.
Okay.
And I know Dennis Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are an actor on that movie.
Yes, I am.
And you've been acting for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
What are the characters that you had so far? And what's your favorite?
Well, everyone's my favorite. There's no big role, small roles. Every role is special in its own way to me. But it's a diverse array of characters, anything from a military guy to a father to just the best friend. You'll never know. I can play anything.
So before were you a military?
I was.
Thank you for your service. That's why you can act that military scenes because you've been there, correct?
Yes, exactly.
What do you think about, because I know a lot of military guys that's now actually getting into acting. What made you do that? The pay, right? They don't pay too much. Let you answer that.
Oh, well, I'm very proud of my service to our country. I served in several tours, and I'm actually a 100% disabled veteran, so combat veteran. But so I'm proud of my service and proud to anybody else that has served. I'm a huge ally and advocate for our military men and women that serve our country. But yeah.
So what do you think about people getting into this business?
I mean, I think it's a good way for soldiers to have an outlet to be able to express their feelings.
Right? Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that idea that they are now, they're having an outlet when they get out because having to serve our country and dealing with all those chaos in other country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army. And thank you for your service again. Shout out to all the men and women in uniform here out there. We appreciate your service to all of us. So let's get back to your movie, Junkie Warrior.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Do you know Orlando? No. Okay.
No.
I came up with something. I thought he is connected. You see, I've been here in Vegas for 16 years, and I've been in this business for over 8 years.
No worries. I'm born and raised. It's my hometown.
That's why I'm kind of know people, right? I kind of know who are you talking about. But anyways, so where is this your first time? I wish your director is here. So, but you might know it.
She'll be here closer to time of the screening.
Oh, okay. So, is this your first time actually entering the movie here? Is this the first time shown to the public?
No, it's not the first time shown to the public. You can actually rent the Junkie Warrior or purchase it on Amazon Prime. It's been out for quite some time. It's been reviewed. It's actually my first film where I had a my first film critic give me a review, which was a positive review. So, and I believe that site is Film Critics. Maybe filmcritics.com. I'm not sure, but I can make sure that's proper. But yeah, it's
The review.
um just it's I I mean you just have to read it because I don't remember really.
Yes,
It's been a
go ahead,
while.
go and check it out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What other character? What is your dream character? What's your ideal character?
I don't really have a dream ideal character. I'm getting to do my dream. I'm getting to do my ideal characters right now. So I love what I do.
Wonderful. That's a really good answer. He's well prepared, guys. But anyways, go ahead and tell them again where they can find the movie and then also your handles so people can follow you.
Of course, you can find the Junkie Warrior on Amazon Prime, and it's the Junkie Junky Warrior, and you can find me at Jeray Reed. Everything is all Jeray at Jeray Reed. JeRayReed.
Thank you so much, Jure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we're gonna
Nice
take a
to meet
picture, okay? Yeah.
Got Films is a full service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for staying with us. It's almost a 6 hour red carpet event here at the Indie Vegas Film Festival at Galaxy Theaters at Cannery, East Cannery, and live broadcast at socialmediashows.com, and also sponsored by Rice Talent LLC. Thank you so much to Don Sullivan who made this event a successful one. Thank you so much. Well, we're actually signing off for the night, and we will be back over here at 2 p.m. for the third day of Indie Vegas Film Festival. See you guys tomorrow and have a great night.